those teams are going to be competing for their share of this prize pool of trying to get that golden ticket as well. But in terms of the teams that are being matched up first, one of them that we can be as one of the favorites is going to be the ET Exports, and they are going to be going against Imperium Titans. So a lot of some family clans going up against each other, some amazing matches for sure. But there was a community vote that was happening, and a lot of the viewers at home wanted to see a specific individual match, and that is going to be between ET Esports and Strut, which Strut is a very well-known team. They have a lot of history, and they won the 2020 World Championship. But I might add, Itsu, their lineup was completely almost different from then to where it is now. So it's going to be exciting to see what they can pull off in this qualifier here.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. The teams are evolving as well with like players. Some of them are like leaving the game, unfortunately, or we just have overall changes in between teams. Or the next option, which happened to Strut, is that new players are getting discovered. I mean, if you are really good at the game, one of the best options you have is just push really high in Legends. Since Legend League is such a competitive environment that it's always really easy for you to have, like, if you're in the top ranks, that's the obvious thing. You have a nice way to promote yourself if you want to become a pro player in Clash of Clans. You need to be at those top ranks, and you can only get there normally with having a really good performance. But as well with the teams now, we should take a look at the matches as well. That's the prize pool, where you can see that again. But we should take a look at the featured matches as well, which are going to happen the first round, because we have already talked about like the Swiss stage format, the bracket, how everything works. Carbon explained that nicely to you. So we should take a look at the matches we have ahead of us today. And this is then the next on the menu. On the left side, you can see it already. There's quite a few matches happening. And trust us, this is not scripted. The second round has not been played yet.
It's not filled in. Don't worry. That's not there. It's probably a little graphical thing that they'll update there. But again, another view for the teams overview that you can see between these teams, and we'll get to the round one matches. We'll bring the graphic up so you guys can see exactly which one is broken up. But again, we can't show all the matches here because all these matches are going to be happening at the exact same time. So if you don't see the match being covered here, it's more than likely going to be covered by a community caster somewhere within the community. So you should be able to see everything somewhere. Make sure you are supporting some of your favorite casters. You want to watch it on the main official broadcast, and we want to be including with everyone. So make sure you show the support around it, and you will be able to watch any match that you want. Here is going to be the goal across the board from the community of bringing you but it's gonna be very exciting. Can't wait to see what team can push through. But that's a big question with Navi, right? Navi already has that golden ticket. So the question is going to be, obviously they want to try to win that $18,000, but they can, if they start defeating a couple opponents, they could be eliminated future competitions in the World Championships. But it's really exciting to see a team like Navi and show how strong they are by not only winning the first golden ticket, but making it back and trying to win a second. Well, you can't get it because it'll go to second place, but it just shows you how dominant they are as a team and how consistent they are.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest word right now, consistency for them, because we have seen a lot of teams have really high peaks on Ton of 15. I mean, Ton of 15 right now being super hard, even for pros. We see from time to time like 10 or even 11 stars. There's even a team in this competition which has like a, do you call it 0% defense rate, which means they have not gotten a single 3-star against them. Okay, this is what I mean by 0% defense rate, or should I say 100%, like however you want to name it. But they have an incredible 0 defenses against them, which is a thing on Ton of 15. I mean, even for the pros. So teams are peaking really high, but as well really low sometimes. And Navi is just this super consistent team, which always somehow shows up. And we have our first match happening hopefully really soon. You can see it already on the bottom side of us, which is going to be ET Esports versus Strut. You guys voted for this match on Twitter as a community. You wanted to see that really, really bad. And I think Strut especially, they really want to show up. The first couple of times they were struggling a little bit, I would say, so far on turn of 15. They had not really their fit yet, but their stats overall looking incredible coming into this match. So I think they are the big favorite for this first matchup.
Yeah, no, so many people are going to be wondering, wait, Itsu, didn't you talk about like ET is going to be one of the favorite clans, or at least I did? Well, there's a lot of different Imperium Titan clans here, a lot of family clans. So if you're thinking about the clan that has Cynthia, Arium, Tryhard, well, that's ET Exports, right? So this is ET Esports. A lot of very, very similar names. So, but if this team that Strut is playing is not going up against Cynthia, Arium, and them, but they are actually going up against Imperium Titans, the part of the family clan. So it's still exciting to see. We may see a matchup, Strut versus them, later on if they keep winning or if they start to lose. Who knows? That's the thing, is you win, you move up, you can face each other, and you continue to win. You get closer to that magic number of 3. You win 3 matches, you advance to the playoff stage. And yeah, like you too, I am very excited for the very first attack that should hopefully be coming in very soon to catch the beginning of this match and the beginning of this day, which is going to be 4 matches. So we're going to go through the first 3 matches. We'll know who goes through, and then we'll have that last match just before a 2-2 match, which will be tomorrow, and getting it closer to the playoff stage, which is next weekend.
Yeah, that's right. And I think especially in this specific format where you could just go 3-0 and you are just already in the next stage, I feel like momentum is such an important thing. As we have said, Town of 15 can be like high peaks and really, really, unfortunately, deep lows. But overall, if you have this momentum on your side and you feel like, yes, we get every single 3-star, we get every single 50-50 prediction right and everything which goes with that, that's really how you can dominate those type of Swiss stages. But at the same time, teams who are maybe the favorites coming into this and have like a bad first match, they can still come back. This is why I think this format is just so great for those teams, because you can still prove that, yes, there was one loss, that was one match, okay? Not our best showing so far, but we can come back from that. And I feel like that's such an important thing, that those teams have this option of a couple of bad matches. But if they're overall good enough to get those 3 wins on the board, that's then where they get to this next stage, the playoff stage, as you said, then next weekend. But with the first match hopefully being only a couple of seconds away from us with Strut, it's, well, they are the really big underdog. Let's just talk about the stats straight away. I mean, Strut, all of those players are looking incredible just based on the stats of the qualifier where they made it to this stage. We have, for example, their star player Dogstar being 5 out of 5, but then on the other side, the team seems to struggle a little bit just hit rate wise if you take a look at the numbers. And I feel like they really have to do a really good preparation to get into this match, because on the other side we see, for example, like a 1 out of 4 hit rate, like 1 out of 4 attacks are being a 3-star. That's the overall team hit rate, which means like they have done so far 4 matches, and on average they have done 1 3-star per match, which is, considering then on the opposite side where we have a lot of players being really high on the hit rate list, like Strut. We have, for example, Musk, who's 4 out of 5 so far. We have Rigatoris 2 out of 5, then us 3 out of 5, and Philip as well 3 out of 5. We can see they are averaging a really high number of 3-stars. So the defense really has to be good for ET Esports to have a chance in this one.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. They're going to have to bring something that Strut was not expecting, or maybe even bring in attacks that, because Strut, of course, is trying to build some defenses against their opponents. Not only this first opponent, but the future opponents that they think they may be facing going on. And they know the potential opponents, so they have a lot of experience with many teams in here. So it's going to be interesting to see. Is it going to be a lot of box spaces, which has been kind of the meta? And not kind of, it's been the meta, right? It's really almost all the bases you see in the competitive esports is those same style types of bases, but little tweaks here and there. And I'm going to be curious of how many Electro Titan type of attacks we'll be seeing, either not only with that, but also some Super Archer Blimps. Those are some of the 2 most common attacks, or even put them together as an attack itself. But that's going to be the question. How many of those attacks? I would love to see a mix of everything. But, you know, Town Hall 15 is definitely the hardest Town Hall ever in Clash of Clans for a reason.
That's right. I mean, as well, something which we see nowadays way more often is the Electro Dragon or Super Dragon attack combined with the Queen Charge. We have talked about the box spaces so much that I feel like those type of attacks are considered by most as well as like a counter where you try to really use the recall spell. I feel like that's one of the strategies which use the recall spell quite well, because that was a spell a lot of people were excited about when it was introduced back then with Town Hall 15. It was buffed already once, but still is really, really base dependent, and it's only home in a couple of different strategies. One of them being this recall approach where you try to charge both flanks of the Town Hall, try to really get rid of like possible air defenses and stuff, and then push with Electro Dragons into the core, into the base, and try to take down those key defenses, where you have to say the Monolith being one of the biggest threats for sure. But even a multi-Inferno Tower raged up, that thing is going to hit hard. I mean, yes, the single Inferno Tower is supposed to be like the big damage threat, but a raged up multi-Inferno Tower, especially like most of the time you have 2 or even 3 around a raged tower, that can be threatening. I mean, you have seen probably many times loons engaging versus like raged up multi-Inferno Towers. They do not last long versus those defenses. They just disappear. They just get melted. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of times people may be using some lightning spells to be removing not only that, or trying to remove some defenses like a Monolith behind a Town Hall, and then be sending some Flame Flingers to try to secure that. So there are definitely different ways to be taking some of these bases down, but they tend to be usually around a few sort of similar attacks and kind of strategies with the Lightnings, the Electro Titans, the Blimps, somehow to take it down. But like you said, you go into that Rage spell tower, or even if you're far away and you activate the Rage by sending a troop in, and it activates the Eagle a little by Rage, and that thing, it will just crush any one of your troops that it locks onto. And hopefully it doesn't lock onto your healers, because they will be gone for sure if that's the case.
Or when even the queen, right? Like, imagine a raged up eagle is locking onto your queen. You have to use the ability when she's like nearly at full HP, because otherwise you just get bursted through her ability. That is just crazy. But talking about all of the different strategies, Carbon, what strategy would you like to see the most? I just want to start right away, because one strategy I'm looking really forward to, which is the strategy of TK Gaming, which is the Super Archer Blimp into Super Barbarians. We have seen that quite a bit, and it's actually, it always sounds like a super troll army, right? Like, why would you use Super Barbarians? You could just do anything else, but using it in a strategic way is such a nice thing to watch, and it's actually really strong. In my opinion, might be even the second strongest Super Archer Blimp strategy. So I think that's the one strategy I'm looking forward to the most to watch. But what about you, Corbin? Which strategy would you like to watch the most?
Definitely. Obviously, I love watching LaLo, right? And that's always what pros love to use, and it's been part of the game for the longest time. So usually I always love to see LaLo attacks, but I mean, ground attacks are also fantastic. Wait, hold on. Looks like we are in with an attack here that we are seeing from Esports. So we'll jump straight into this. Looks like they have fixed some of the technical issues, and we are seeing if Philip is trying to defend here. And we saw the first, looks like there was an attack already that came in on Crush's side with a 3-star there, but we have Tribes web, so they'll have to fix that, as it's not the right webcam there as well. But this one with 25 seconds looks to be gonna be a 3-star here as well for ET Esports, and it, of course, it's the Electro Titans with some lightning spells.
Yes, that's right. You said it already. The Titans are going to be used a lot. They are already really strong pretty much since the beginning of Town Hall 15 release, and especially now with the latest, like with the big update which we now had, where there were like hotfakes, which means like the Warden is now more likely to follow them, which just was a straight up buff, to be honest. I mean, yes, before that was like a bug which kind of nerfed them to some degree, but now they got even stronger. So I think we will use, like, be able to watch them even more often overall. and I think that's going to be quite exciting. I think it's actually Exorcist we're seeing at the bottom side.
It is. Yeah,
I'm not sure. So we're kind of watching multiple matches at the same time because we're watching the Strut versus Esports match, and we're watching the live reaction of of the Tribe match as well. And I think just based on the reaction, the Tribe match is not looking bad for them.
Yeah, indeed. But here we go. All right, Asht is in, and he's going to be coming in with the 24 Rocket Loons in here, and looks like he wants to take on a Super Archer. Blimp is going to be, my guess is that Warden ability does go off to protect the Blimp flying all the way across.
Yes, that Blimp flying all the way across, and we have said already, oh, there were some spring traps. Spring traps nowadays are really good to counter those Super Archer Blimps, because losing only a couple of those Super Archers is a big thing, because, well, getting rid of a few of them is way less damage output. And this Town Hall, is it going to go down?
Oh, come on, Super Archers. No way, they break the wall and some of them go the other way, and the Town Hall stays up. And that is a problem. He's going to have to now find a way to push his way to the Town Hall, and no Warden. It's you. No Warden and no spells here to push his way into securing this Town Hall.
Yes, and especially now with those Rocket Loons. I mean, we know how many combinations there are with those Super Archer Blimps. There is the LaLo, the just regular strategy, which is getting used a lot. There's the Super Barbarians, but as well the Rocket Loons are really good. Pretty much any strategy which can be played without any support from spells is a really strong combination for this troop, or for this Blimp combination. And Rocket Loons, they don't need spells, they are hasted right away. So, do you think he can save that somehow, especially with the Ground Expo locking onto his Queen?
You mean save it as in still get a 3-star? I think he definitely will save the 2-star for sure, but getting a 3, I just can't see with a Tesla farm popping up and 19 Rocket Loons to go in. Can the RC secure this Town Hall? Wait, we're gonna see the multi-target Inferno. Oh, wait, he's not going for the Town Hall just yet. He's gonna have to save these Rocket Loons to directly target it, but no spells is a huge problem.
Yeah, no spells indeed whatsoever, but those Rocket Loons hopefully can save the day for him. There are they going. He's already only sending in a couple of them because he wants to make sure that if there's any traps, he's trying to trigger them with a smaller group. And now the Rocket Loons are getting that Town Hall out. And, well, this means that the 14 Rocket Loons are left to pick up percentage. But is it going to be enough to get a high enough percentage to stay in this match?
Oh, man, we're seeing these Rocket Loons still coming around, but unfortunately that defensive Royal Champion is a huge problem. Going to pick these Rocket Loons off, and unfortunately can't get that multi-target Inferno that top side, and you can see the frustration on his face here, not able to get it done, as it's going to be in the 90s, so just barely at 91% 2-star. Nice try there from Asht. Oh, that's going to hurt right there, but it is only the beginning of these attacks here, so there's still plenty of attacks to come in from both sides.
That is right. With that, Esports are up next. They are up next with the attacking, and they have now the chance of taking the lead, as we have already said earlier and shown with the stats. Strut being the big favorite in this one, but Esports having already, after the first attack, the same amount of 3-stars they had so far in the qualifier on average, which is really, really good. And they can really build up on this one to get more 3-stars on this one and challenge Strut and make them sweat for this win. And there we go. The next attack is live. We will jump into that one right away. And with that being said, Carbon, you said it. We see Titans again, but this time the Super Archers out of a Blimp.
Yeah, with the Super Archer, I was gonna talk about this strategy. I talked about the LaLo, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just a Super Archer attack, because I was going to talk about how there was one player I specifically remember seeing, which is on Total Access, Halo Blade. He used this type of attack with Super Archers in your main army, your main push through, but no, he's got Super Archers, he's got a couple of Electro Titans, And he's got one jump spell. With that, Warden's doing a little bit of a Warden walk to the top side, but what else can he get? Time is always the question when you're doing these long Warden walks.
Yeah, that's always the big problem, and especially, I mean, people are always wondering what are the best pets to use on those Warden walks, because a lot of people are saying, well, Frosty, well, it's not that great because you want to use it on the King. The Lizard is dying early on a lot of times, the same with the Owl, but normally you just try to use anything which is just going to speed up the Warden walk, and if it's just a couple of seconds, the Unicorn does not do that. And the same thing now is going to happen to his Queen with not getting funneled inside. The Super Archer not getting funneled inside either. And this right now is looking like a huge chaos because their Town Hall is on the far opposite side.
It's far away as a couple Super Archers got locked on the wall, sends the Royal Champion in as the Warden ability does go off as he continues to push his way around. He does have a lot of spells to use as the healers have, look, are they on the, no, they're on one Electro Titan, pulling a couple Seeking Air Mines, but they're kind of transferring off to the Royal Champion right now.
There's the freeze, another Rage is turning into a Royal Champion charge, but the Rage Tower just melts that Royal Champ, but the Royal Champ ability is securing that second star just by a tiny bit. And I mean, that was for sure a heart attack right there for the attacker. That was such a close thing, but he has 1 minute left. Now the Titans are running in front of that Queen while the Queen's shooting that wall. And this is, especially with the Phoenix Egg, still quite a few more percentages, which could be a big game deciding factor in this match.
Yeah, he's continuing to push, but there's the defensive King that is waiting on the top side as he moves his way through with that Queen burning her ability, trying to get every little bit of buildings. Every single thing will matter here as this Headhunter can't do anything but lock onto that King. Look at that Queen, just she gets in range of this multi, she is gonna go down, but another one in the 90%, and this is where Ash finished as well. I believe it was like a 91. Oh, wait, oh, the Queen has the Phoenix. Look at that, comes back to life, Itsu.
Just a couple of more percentages in the end, and that is a 93%. Considering how the opening of the attack went, I would have never thought that this would get that far, and maybe that is right now the strategy. Yeah. Electro Titans for the high percentage 2 stars, and at the same time, you cannot forget about the power of being able to get maybe a 3 star, and we can see that with the percentage overall. Take a look at that. 0.4% lead for EG Esports. That's overall building wise. That is 2 buildings overall. And take a look at the stats. You can see it, 93 to 91. Those are the 2 building difference, which the lead is right now. But remember, I mean, this is only 2 attacks in. Anything can happen at this point.
Anything indeed can happen. So you never know what's going to go in with the next set of attacks for sure. And that's the thing. It's going to be a close match. You win this, you're not out, right? It's not like a single elimination. It's not double elimination right now. This is you win 3, you're in. You lose 3, you're out. Those are the numbers. Is the magic number 3 here. As now Philip is attacking with the Electro Titans here, deciding to take out a defensive Rage. But look at that. Also grabs the Eagle, so he took quite a bit of Rages to be able to take that Eagle down so it doesn't fire upon his troops.
Yeah, this means overall he took 1 Rage less. Typically you have those double Rage and the 1 freeze in this army composition. The good thing with the Titans as well is that you do not need the poison, so you save that spell slot. But he uses instead the double freeze to make sure that he can freeze up the Town Hall and maybe the Monolith together. That might be a good option. And he needs to be quick with the funneling. The barracks on the top side of the mortar might lure those Titans out of the base again, and he has nothing to funnel there. Let's see if those Titans are going to jump into the middle. There's the Wizard now for funneling, and that's now where all of the troops are going inside. That's exactly where he wants them to go.
He did lose 1 Titan to go up with the King, but hopefully that's not too big of a deal as he continues this push with that Queen. The Town Hall went down fast, really quick, as the defensive Rage goes off next to that multi-target Inferno. King's ability, we've got Tesla's giant bombs, skeleton traps, all popping up over there as he now decides to send the Royal Champion to the far left. Tried to tank with the Giant for a little bit, but now the Expo's doing quite a bit of damage on her.
Yeah, there were quite a few defenses shooting at those troops, but now the Royal Champ ability, there we go. The Test Tower all getting one shot. And Carbon, this looks quite good. With those openings on the outside, those Titans have a way of entering the base back into that scatter compartment. And we have as well the Siege Machine. This should be a next 3-star.
Wow. I didn't even, we didn't even really take into account him using a Siege Machine, as that Battle Drill came out of nowhere from the bottom side, and this is plenty of time left. And Philip crushing this one with the Zap Electro Titans. This is one of the attacks we definitely thought we were going to see for sure, and here it is, showing you the strength of it. What an attack, Philip. Great hit there to give another 3-star to Strut.
That's right, the Titans seem to be the best answer right now to those box spaces, to the bases which those two teams are throwing up. But now, on the other side, with ET Esports being up next, they can keep the lead if they're 3-star, which is easier said than done over on Town of 15. I think most of the people out there who have already played Town of 15, you know, it's not easy to get those 3-stars. Even for the pros, they're sometimes struggling. So, considering that, we have to wait for the next attack being live in just a couple of seconds. And we're wondering who's going to get attacked. Us, Rigotaurus, and Darkstar all can still get attacked. And Darkstar, the MVP for Strut so far in their qualifier, being 5 out of 5. He still has his attack left on this one, Carbon.
I'm excited to see what he can do and what he's going to be bringing for them, as the pressure is going to be on, as now ET Esports needs a 3-star to tie this one all up on stars. Because if you're just new to Clash of Clans Esports, remember, it goes by stars and then percentage, and of course if it's tied all up, which we have not yet seen at a Channel 15, we saw it before at Channel 14. It was still rare, but if it's ever tied on stars, percentage, then it is typically whoever is a little bit faster in their attacks. But we're jumping now into an E-Dragon attack here with a Queen Charger, Queen Walk E-Dragons, as sometimes you tend to see this attack mixed in with like a recall, so you can have a Queen take out one side, send her to another, and then E-Dragons in between, but there is no recall in this attack here.
Yes, and he does not want to invest the Flame Finger. We see a lot of times as well that the opposite side of the base, where the Queen is not charging, is getting cleared by a Flame Finger, but he really wants to have this power with the Slammer getting pushed in there as well into the Town Hall, because this is going to be how this is looking like. E-Dragons into the Town Hall with their Slammers together to try to take down as many defenses as possible to make the life of this Queen as enjoyable as possible. But with pros knowing this approach, there might be a couple of air skeletons or just black mines defending this entry, but so far nothing too crazy. The freeze is keeping the poison tower in touch, and this means the dragons can now push into their Town Hall.
Yeah, he's going straight towards this Town Hall as he freezes up the defensive enemy Royal Champion and that scatter shot with the Rage. Get ready for a Warden Eternal Tome to protect everything as the Town Hall explodes. If he can keep this Queen alive, charging her way through, and these E-Dragons survive this massive amount of damage in the Town Hall compartment, this could be some fantastic value to try to chain through the core, but the E-Dragons look to be losing quite a bit of health.
Yeah, they were stuck for too long inside that Town Hall poison. The King somehow ended up in the core of the base. That's not where you want to have your King. Now the King is going to the outside, but that Queen now doing her favorite thing, being stuck on walls, but there's not much space left. Maybe with the Rage Tower, or like with the Rage Spell, more like, he can push this Royal Champion through, but the defensive Rage Tower is still raging up those explodes, and they deal a lot of damage.
Well, he makes his Royal Champion invisible, but there is no defensive range anymore, so that's going to be really helpful to try to keep his heroes alive as he can pop the RC ability, skip through. That Diggy is going to be clutch if it can stun that X-Spell. Come on, Diggy, stun the X-Spell. Headhunter, oh, the Spring Trap trying to take out that King. Now it's going to come down to time, and if the Queen can stay alive, it might just be enough to 3-star.
The King... Wait, he's protecting his building now. It's 30 seconds. Who's going to win this Royal Champion? That should be one spear, right? That should be one spear to the face of the King, and he's going to go down. The minions are on the top side doing a nice job of cleaning, but 20 seconds, is that going to be enough? Are they going to target the building right away? And it seems like they are. And that is indeed the next 3-star. We have a super close match in our hands.
Yes, we do. 8-8 right now. Incredible. Just able to get it, and that's the thing. You don't have to actually take down the defensive heroes. All you need to do is just remove all the buildings. So there's been times in my text where I accidentally left the Queen alive and she ended up staying alive. It doesn't happen all too often. Usually you tend to fail those attacks, that the Queen never ends up dying on the defensive side, but it can definitely happen where you don't destroy the enemy heroes, don't take them down, and you still 3-star because you removed all the buildings. Well, that can be the problem, is that if the King is still alive, that's why a lot of people have coined the King as the best air defense in the game, because he just takes so long to take down because he has so much health. So if minions get stuck on him, a little tip that we've seen many pros do is use the invisibility spell if you do still have it left over onto the King, so you could go start to clean up other buildings. Well, let's jump. Oh, here you go, Itsu. It is now Darkstar, who was amazing in the qualifiers. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and he's starting things off with the Skeleton Donut. And you said it, you want to see a LaLo attack, and there we go.
Yeah.
The first LaLo attack of this match is underway. The invisibility tower too far away to protect those two buildings. Instead, they're going down with a couple of spells invested. We have now the King pushing forward to take down the defending Queen, and then maybe his own Queen to push slowly towards that Town Hall. He has 2 wall breaks. Let's see if he's getting that Town Hall, because I think that is his objective. The wall break is not working.
Don't say it. Oh no. Okay, he sends a second wall break. It does now open this wall up to allow the Queen to step in. Sends the Royal Champion to the left side behind that Yeti as he wants to take out this Town Hall. But remember, you have an invisibility spell, so you're gonna have to freeze so that the Queen can lock on and take out that Town Hall. Is there? Yes, there's the freeze, there's the ability. Well done right there.
Amazingly done. Getting the invisibility spell out of the way with just the free spell. The LaLo has started from the bottom side. The Slammer is doing an incredible job of taking down the multi-inferno tower just on his own. And the Queen even survives. I mean, time is always an issue, but with the Queen surviving and starting the cleanup, that is amazing for him. Royal Champion ability to take some more buildings out, the Tesla farm and some other buildings. But now he is engaging versus the Rage Up Inferno tower, but he has enough freezes to take him somehow under control.
Did he, like, clone up these balloons without a clone spell? How does he have so many balloons still alive? Look at this, completely crushing this one, moving his way to the back end scatter shot. And this is brilliant. Absolutely crushing attack. That Skeleton Donut LaLo is strong. The value he got removing the Town Hall with his heroes. Doesn't have to worry about a defensive clan castle using your skeleton spells and invis to help take that down. Darkstar keeping up an insane hit rate. Well done, and exactly what Strut is looking for.
Yeah, that was just an incredible attack, and I can see why he is the MVP for Strut so far, hit rate wise. I mean, that was just an incredible attack to witness, and I think the Skeleton Donut is such an important thing in those pro attacks. It's not easy to pull off, especially, I mean, in those big tournaments, your hands are shaking and you're nervous quite a bit, and then you have to like really drop those spells perfectly, because if you deploy them just one tile off, the invisibility spells, well, the clan castle can turn invisible, another building might get turned invisible, and you won't take them out, which is such a big problem from the start of the attack. And the entire attack just falls apart quickly. So really good job by him making this attack look easy. Now it's back to ET Esports with their next attack up, and so far they like those Electro Titans. I'm not sure if they're going to switch things up, because so far their success rate is quite high versus those bases versus Strut.
Well, we'll have to see. A lot of Electro Titans. We just saw a LaLo. We saw a Super Archer and E-Dragon, seeing a little bit of a mix as well. But will we keep seeing new strategies, different types of meta attacks? Well, we're going to take a look at a little bit of a summary of how different players are doing. And Darkshot with the triple, Philip with the triple. But Mask does have... oh, wait, no, those are the defenses. We have Philip with the triple, so that's right. Darkstar with a triple. Rigatores is the one that we ended up not seeing there, which had the 3-star. So it's going to be going back and forth as we're getting into the next attack here. And it is a hybrid here, Itsu. Okay, let's go. Something different. Love it.
I love it so much. I mean, hybrid has to be my favorite strategy. It's such a cool strategy. It's normally such beginner-friendly strategy, which I think is really cool. The queen charges typically are not the hardest to pull off, but the hybrid then is just such an efficient way to approach those bases. So I cannot wait to see if he can actually charge into that tunnel compartment, because there's just so much damage. So it's not going to be the easiest to keep his queen alive, and he needs to be careful with the air defense, maybe in range to his healers.
Just out. Looks like he's not getting hit there. Somehow, my healers will be getting hit for sure, as he is going to secure this air defense, going to push this queen into the town hall, as there is a balloon to test for seeking air mines, but that flame flinger looking to go for the scatter shot. But look at that multi-mortar being distracted on the queen, so that's really nice to distract the multi-mortar, as your flame flinger will then go get something very important, not only to try to set a funnel, but grab a splash damage defense.
And just the timing to me was incredible, impressive. I mean, he just charged into the tunnel compartment as the flame flinger was moving into the range of the multi-mortar. At the same time, the queen taking the tanking of that multi-mortar. That was incredible. But either way, I mean, right now the charge looks great. The clan castle is getting looted. He needs to be careful with the single Inferno Tower. Perfect for his timing. And the hybrid looks really healthy as well, with the king doing a nice job of funneling.
Yeah, look at that king running all the way to the bottom side. He is getting slowed up by the ice golem, but he's moving his way through that warden ability. Was brilliant as he drops another heal straight into the core of this base to protect, as that flame flinger, you know what, it's still going. It's getting some fantastic values. A freeze is now used on the Monolith, the Expo, and a bomb tower here.
Yeah, the double bomb tower, that could be actually a really big threat. The invisibility spell to protect that. Roy champion, the wall breaks in the core were incredible, but now the Yetis on the back end to tank and clean things up. The queen, take a look at the next wall break. Those wall breaks are looking insane, but the queen, with her ability, is going to clear the rest of the base, and that has to be one of the cleanest queen charge hybrid attacks I have seen in quite some time. That was really impressive to watch, and I mean, ET Esports, they still have the lead. It's 2 buildings, but I mean, that attack was incredible.
It was so strong. Like, everything went to plan. How he broke it down. Queen charged into the town hall. Flame flinger went up for the top scatter shot. And the queen was like distracting that multi-mortar, so it protected the flame flinger in a way. So it was really well thought out. And then the king and queen in between goes your hybrid. And that was fundamentals perfectly executed there. And then you can see how his hybrid went straight into the core. Even though he got frozen up by an ice golem, was still able to make that push all the way into the core of the base. And even with back and bomb towers, still was able to get a 3-star. What a great attack, and really now putting some pressure onto Strut here. Remember, this is the Swiss stage, so very first match, it's not single elimination, so you're not eliminated if you lose. You still have plenty of opportunities to make your comeback and try to advance to next weekend, which is the playoff stage.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, in this match, just stats based from the beginning, I think Strut was the I think big favorite coming into this one, but really ET Esports are delivering some incredible attacks, and especially, as you said it, with different approaches. Yes, we saw the Titans, now we see a Queen Charge hybrid executed to perfection, and now it's back to Strut. They really have to get this next 3-star right, because otherwise they're putting themselves into a position where a high percentage 2-star might be already enough for ET Esports. If they 3-star, they are really pressuring the other side to go for this all or nothing attack. 3-star or nothing. And we have Musk doing a Queen Charge LaLo, Carbon, one of your favorite attack strategies, and there's just so much damage in the beginning.
Wow, look at that. He had to pre-drop that rage so that the healers can rage up this Queen through so much damage. As we have 2 ground expos onto this Queen, we did find a red arrow bomb. Luckily, there doesn't seem to be any more. As he rages up this Queen again, you cannot lose your Queen ability, especially in a charge like this where there's a single target Inferno just on the backside of this Town Hall. He's going to have to freeze to secure the Town Hall, making that invisibility spell tower invisible. He's got to wait. He's got to be patient. Wait a second. She might walk to the Wizard Tower. Queen, go back to the Town Hall. She should. Uh-oh. Queen. Come on. Pops that. Okay. Ooh. She goes back in. There we go.
But is it going to... Oh, he's going to do a Queen Warden Charge. I love those. They're just such fancy attacks. And at the same time, it's a huge risk, because if you do not get the value with that Queen Charge, you're looking... Oh, there's just so much damage.
Wow. He's hanging on.
What an ability to save the day.
Yeah.
And take a look at that. He even got the Phoenix into the Warden ability, which means, well, the Scatter should go down eventually.
Yeah, the Scatter should be going down here. Hopefully, as the Queen needs to continue to charge, but her ability is still intact. That is the critical thing. As the Eagle Artillery does lock on the Queen, is now the LaLo.
Oh, no.
The Warden LaLo is going to the right side of the Eagle. No! Queen goes down, and now he's got to fight through a raged up double multi Eagle Artillery Monolith. This is no way you could push through that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, yes, someone on voice could have called him that he needs to use the Queen ability, as we were saying that, like, the Eagle is locking onto her. But I feel like the bigger problem for him was really that this Queen, I think she chased something into the corner of that tunnel compartment, that she was in range of the scatter shot and so on. So that was a big problem. The Queen going too deep into all of the damage while he had to engage versus the defending clan castle, and that really cost him in the end. Only 80%. And remember, overall it was a 2 building lead, 81%. This means if we have on the other side from ET Esports is 79%, is going to be a tiebreaker between the stars and the percentage, which time is going to be then the deciding factor. But if they get an 80% 2-star, they're going to get the win. And I feel like so far, it seemed like they're not really struggling to get across this line.
Yeah, that's definitely a mental note that they are going to be taking into account. They could be completely switching up their attack. Do you think, if you're in their situation right now, you have the experience, you've been in situations like this, especially in person, what would you do? Would you completely change up your attack to go to some sort of maybe dragon attack, which can get a higher percentage, but maybe not get the 3-star? What would you do in this scenario here, Itsu?
I think it really depends on what the plan, the strategy looks like so far at the moment. If it's a super risky attack where like the town hall's on the back end, yes, I would change it. But if my attack is kind of including to some degree anyways that I get safely the town hall and then have like some way of collecting percentage anyways, then I would just stick with the plan. Maybe remove some balloons and maybe take some baby dragons from a percentage. But anyways, we actually see the dragon approach. We don't know if that was the plan anyways of them or if they change it up. But this means now that they're starting with this attack with the clone spell in the mix as well. And we have most likely a clone blimp flying across to the town hall. And we have seen from time to time that people are playing their tornado trap there. So let's watch out for this blimp.
Oh, as that blimp's going across with that freeze onto the tower, there's the rage. We've got a clone here, and there is the tornado trap. He needs to take it out, but all these balloons are going to be gone right here from the explosion of the town hall.
Oh no, that was quite a nice NATO trap, 42%. Remember, he needs around about 40 more percentage points to get to this 80% mark. The dragons so far are doing a great job. He hold back his heroes. He still has the king and queen ability. He has not even deployed the royal champion just yet, but the raged up eagle shots are hammering away on those dragons.
Oh no, those dragons are going down fast. Remember, you were talking about what, around 80%. That's what he needs. So you got to keep your eye on that percentage number as it's slowly ticking up, as he's got the royal champion, and I don't think he pulled the CC fully out. So as long as his warden and dragon take it down, then he can send his RC close to trying to secure the eagle. But at this point, maybe you got to use it with your queen and king to continue to try to get as much percentage as possible.
Or maybe on the far right side, take down the air defense. Those minions can actually take down more percentage. That is a possibility as well. Instead, he's deploying it into the Tesla farm, 77, 78%. And I think just with the royal champion ability, he's going to cross that mark. And that means that ET Esports are going to win versus Strut in this match. I think a surprise, but overall, can he even still make it to the 3-star?
That Diggy is help without Warden. He does have the Phoenix on the Warden, so he'll come back alive, getting some clutch value, but unfortunately the RC goes down, the Queen goes down, the Warden comes back to life to try to get a little bit more. He's got 50 seconds. The Phoenix paired with this Diggy. Wait a second. Can we have the most improbable Phoenix ever? It's going so slow. Oh my, imagine this is what you needed for the win. Imagine you need to be a 3-star for the victory. But we know he only need a 2-star percentage. But, oh my, he can save this minion here, Itsu. It goes to the wizard tower. Oh no!
The black mine! Wait, it has half HP. There is still the chance, right? The 1 versus 1 is going to be in favor of the Phoenix. We have 2 cannons left. Do they have full HP? I think there was a Babe Dragon as well. The cannon has not full HP. This is still an option. He can still get this.
Are you serious? But is it going to be a time fail? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
no.
A 99% right there. Imagine. Wow, almost was able to take that down. But we know ET Esports are going to win on a percentage in this very first match, which is pushing Strut to the 0-1 side of the bracket. But congrats, ET Esports getting the victory, 13-13. And we had some fantastic attacks coming through here, but percentage at the end of the day is what held Strut back. And the percentage of mask, unfortunately, the 81, is what brought them down there.
Yeah, but I feel like either way, with the 99 and 93%, ET Esports were looking quite good on the percentage level. So I think it should have been either like a 3-star Strut would have needed, so it would have been close. But either way, it was a really, really impressive showing. I have to say, I underestimated ET Esports a lot, just judging from the stats which I have seen. And they impressed me. They impressed me a lot with their attacks, doing incredible. Just take a look at those stats overall. That is not normal on Town of 15, I would say. I mean, we have seen a lot of other matches which being really low under the score. And instead, they're just going crazy with their attacks. So, really good job to them winning this first match. And we said in the beginning, with this format, with this Swiss stage, momentum can be such a big game changer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Momentum is key. If you keep winning, you'll be looking to have a really good advantage of advancing to the playoffs, which is next weekend. But Strut, hey, they have plenty of time to make a comeback. You can go 0-2, win 3 in a row, and make it. We've seen it in the Queso Cup. But here we go. The MVP coming in with the attack time of 2 minutes and 26 seconds. What a brilliant attack that we saw from ET Esports. And, you know, it was fantastic. They really impressed us and put on a show here against Strut.
Yeah, that was an incredible showing so far. And I cannot wait to see how the other matches have ended as well, because all of those matches were happening at the same time, which means we will just witness in a couple of seconds how those attacks, how those matches have turned out, and which teams are getting to the 1-2 stage and which teams are going to get to the 1-0 stage and to the 0-1 stage, depending on their first match in the Swiss stage.
Yeah, we do have 3 more matches as well here today, and then we will continue into day 2, which is tomorrow for the Swiss stage to find which teams do advance to the playoffs. Like we talked about, is going to be next week, and trying to get that the second golden ticket, right? The very first one, which was in the Queso Cup, and that was Navi taking it. Navi is here in the rush trying to get another golden ticket, because if you're just wondering what is a golden ticket, well, that gets you your ticket into the Clash of Clans World Championship later this year. We don't know where it is, so I'm excited to try to learn where that is later on this year, and I'm excited because last year was amazing. But let's jump into the results of round 1, and let's see, let's just quickly go over. We have ETA Esports, oh wow, look at that, 12-9. Tribe with a 13-12 win. Clash Champs takes a 12-11 win over Regageros. We have Chasmac EA winning 13-11 over Total Access. Chasmac Gaming going down to VN Esporting 11-12. We have United Gaming taking down UG Esports, and then Navi winning by 12-11. Here, was there any surprises in these matches here, Itsu, in the results we've seen?
I think overall I'm quite surprised, maybe about like Navi not getting higher percentage, especially with like the stars and percentage and everything. But I mean, they have a solid win overall in their match. Otherwise, overall, with our match, I would have said that the results were quite high, considering compared to some of the other results which we have seen so far on Town of 15. But then some matches were like 11-10, which were not that high on the stars. So I cannot wait. I mean, so far we have only a couple of matches played, but with everything around, we're going to have more and more matches to come, and especially now with few teams winning, few teams losing, I cannot wait to see what the next matches look like, because after every single round, they're going to get randomized depending on your current score and where you are right now in the Swiss stage. So those next matches should be interesting. I think we just have gotten them on our screen. We can already tell you what is our next spotlight match. Our next spotlight match is going to be Clash Champs versus VN. We have as well in the upper bracket Tribe versus another VN team. And we have ET Esports versus United. And we have CMG versus ET Exports, if I see that right.
Yeah,
no, wait.
We'll take.
Is it Clash Champ versus Navi? I think that's what it says, right? What it should be, maybe?
Yeah.
Because Navi is missing in the upper bracket for us.
Yeah, definitely. Because Navi did win, right? 12-11 there over Prophecy Esports. So once we get that final graphic, we'll also bring it up to you here as well. But it might, unless it might just be Navi. That would be the defending world champions. So what was that there, Itsu?
Clash Champs versus Navi is going to be our spotlight match for the next one. That's going to be amazing. I mean, that's going to be a crazy match. And it's going to be Tribe versus VN. Because for us, we had 2 VN teams in our little message here. But those are going to be the next matches then. I think we will have them on our screen in just a couple of seconds for you guys as well. But I hope that you had already somewhat of an idea of what is happening next with this stream. But I cannot wait. Clash Champ versus Navi, Carbon. I mean, those 2 teams so far are crushing it on Town of 15. In the first golden ticket, if I remember correctly, I think Clash Champs and Navi both went 3-0 in the Swiss stage, which is not going to be possible after this matchup.
Nope, it's not. It's gonna be one of them's gonna lose and another one's gonna go 2-0, right? But that's the thing, is that they both, one of them could win, then they can lose the match, and then maybe, who knows, meet up again. You know, you never know what's gonna happen in the Swiss stage, but that magic number is 3. You're going for 3 victories to try to advance to the playoff stage. And that's the thing about the Swiss stage, allows these teams to really shine and really show you what they have. And it's not the one and done. It's not like you lose and you're eliminated. You lose for you have one small mistake. You're not kind of, it doesn't make you have such a terrible day. Like, oh, we've worked so hard to get to this point. You have a little bit of breathing room, which allows teams like Strut to try to make that comeback, and allows just any team that had that first loss to work their way back. And that's what we've seen before. We've seen teams that went 0-2. They were one loss away from elimination in the previous Queso Cup. They came back and won 3 in a row to advance to the playoff stage. So anything is possible when it comes to these matches here, Itsu.
That's right, for sure. But with the teams having to load up into their matches and having to get their amazing plans ready, we will jump into a really short break. And after that, we're back with the next amazing match. Clash Champs versus Na'Vi. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, hello, welcome back here. We are getting ready for the match number 2. We saw a fantastic match to kick it off there, Itsu, which was between Esports versus Strut. And now we're going to be seeing Clash Champs and Navi. I am so excited for this next match here, Itsu.
Yes, I mean, same for me. I would love to have the results of the first round again on our screen so we can talk about them, because I feel like it would take some time for the teams to load in and get into their matches, with Clash Champs versus Navi being our next match on this broadcast. I cannot wait for that to get started, but it is different to your 24-hour matches at home. Those teams are having really little time to plan, but at least this tiny bit of time we have to give them to come with their amazing plans overall, so we can then talk a bit more about the results we had in the first round. There we go. We were spectating the match ET Esports versus Strat, which I think overall was a surprise. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the ET Esports crew, but I think it was a surprise overall, them coming in as the underdog with an amazing performance. So really big shout out to them. And then ETX Esports in the second match, surprising, the only team which only got 9 stars against them in this matchup, which is a big surprise. But if you take a look at the percentage, what was that? There's 1% difference, but it's 3 stars difference. That had to be a crazy match.
Yeah, you never know with those matches, right? That's just their attacks not going to plan, not getting it. It's just ETX Sports. Probably what happened is they got the 3 stars, and then the ones that failed were pretty low percent to bring that down. That's probably at the end of the day. It's just you never know. You can have such high percentage, but if you don't convert and you get those 3 stars, you will be losing the matches. So you really have to show up and get every single building. You don't need the heroes, you need the buildings down for those 3 stars, because we definitely know that feeling of the 99% time fails. You hate to see it, but it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere, and now it actually happens, you know, to me on the builder races. I can time fail over there now, you know. It can't escape in Clash of Clans.
I don't know what you mean. I have never had a 99 time fail. I mean, that is just...
Never?
No, I mean...
that's... Really? Oh, I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Maybe I'm just a bit trolling. But just going through the other matches, we had the next match with Tribe Gaming. I mean, just going through the list in the beginning of the top of the show, if you remember, Tribe Gaming was one of the favorites coming into this one, and they were showing that in the first round. So 13 stars overall, pretty solid. I mean, a ton of 15, 13 stars is actually really solid. So we have now on your screen the matches which are happening in the second round. The first first matches, the first 8 teams on your screen, all of them are 1-0, which means they won their first match. The second half of the table actually all lost their first match. But don't worry, if your favorite team is one of them, they are not out in this Swiss stage. Overall, those teams have the opportunity to play quite a few matches, and as soon as they reach 3 losses, they are out. So those teams only have 1 loss on the board. And I think we have... couple of logos, not 100% correct, but as we said earlier, Clash Champ versus Navi is going to be the match we're going to take a look at. Are there any other matches which are strike to you particular?
I'm going to be looking at the names of the clans, not the logos here, to try to make sure we got the right ones. I'm trying to visually see. So VN Esporting Strut is definitely would be a good one there. Chasmac EA, Tribe Gaming, like Clash Champs Navi is the one that we're covering, is gonna be fantastic. Can't wait to see what that is. But I mean, really, to be honest, you really can't go wrong with any of these matches. All these teams fought to get to this spot, so each one's gonna be really good. But I really am excited for the one we're about to cover, which is Clash Champs taking on Navi. Both these teams have a lot of history going up against each other, especially in Worlds, right? They have faced each other in Worlds, in person, and when you take on that much pressure, it's a whole different stage, a whole different match. But like you mentioned, how these wars are different than your typical 24-hour wars or your kind of your clan war leagues, right? These are your friendly wars, and if you've never played in a friendly war, it's a war where you just send a challenge to an enemy clan. In this case, it's these two clans going up against each other, and they only have about, like, for the very first attack, like 8 minutes to plan the attack, which is wild, right? You don't have too much time. Obviously, if you attack later in the war, you have a little bit more time to plan and get ready, but those very first attackers, there's a lot of pressure. Imagine if you're in your war, anyone that's at home, you get the war screen, you see the base, you have 8 minutes to attack. I mean, it's better than Legends League where you have the 30 seconds, but you have to be ready to go, and you have to be very confident with your attack strategies going into these types of tournaments. So that's where the practice comes into play for these pro teams, these pro players, is they really hone in their practice to be able to attack under this type of kind of time constraints.
Yeah, and I feel like especially one thing you might now think, okay, the first attacker has 8 minutes, but the attackers after that, they have way more time. Well, if you put yourself into that position, and what happened in that is the match is happening. You don't have that much time to plan, or at least it's not as easy because you are attacking, things are going wrong, or like your team more like is attacking, things might go wrong. People are like going through different options, like what are the other guys doing? Were they falling for our bait? Is our base defending? How is our attack going? Scouting is happening, everything. So there's a lot of chaos going on, which means it's not as easy that you can just say, okay, I have like 30 more minutes to plan my attack, don't worry, I got this. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things happening at the same time, which is really, really stressful. So I think it's just super impressive for those teams to come up with those plans that quickly and that efficient. I mean, as we have seen our first match, a lot of attacks were 3 stars. I think so far the strategy which we have seen the most, as you correctly predicted, are the Electro Titans. Would you say that that was more like a specific thing to those two teams which we have just watched, or do you think in this next match with Clash Gems and Na'Vi we're going to see that strategy a lot as well?
I think in this one, these two teams are probably less likely to use it. I would say Na'Vi, if I had to take a guess, more likely to use some sort of LaLo attack, air attack. If I'm thinking about Clash Champs, I have like a gut feeling for Clash Champs. We're going to see maybe a handful more of Skelly Donuts, maybe, you know, that's kind of my feelings between these two teams. If you, whatever you think at home, let us know in the chat. What do you think these two different teams are going to be bringing? Because we know they have some absolutely incredible players, including Stars over on Na'Vi, who has really excelled, doing fantastic with some Blizzard LaLo. So I'm going to be curious to see what they bring. But I think maybe LaLo, some type of Skelly Donut. Oh, and here we go. We got a Na'Vi with their players here, and I talked about Stars, and we're seeing the average star 2.75 there for Stars, for Kazuma and Klaus coming in, and Klaus looks to have the highest average percentage, but we have Gaku, who was 4 for 4. Gaku was doing really strong there. Oh wait, we had Gaku at 100, and then we had NYU there at 97, just over 97, but some really strong attacks here.
Yeah, I think the average stars for Gaku is wrong, as he went 4 out of 4, so it should be 3 on average. Oh, okay. Because I mean, just based on the stats I see,
yep, that's true. Yeah,
Gaku
right
should be on 3 stars on average. So the graphic is not fully correct, but I mean, Gaku as well in the last match, I have seen the stats for the other streamers that Gaku as well again 3-starred, Stars as well 3-starred. So they have just some incredible players. And by the way as well, there's just so many matches happening as well in the background, as we have always a couple of matches happening at the same time. If you are looking forward to follow your favorite team, make sure to look out at the other community streamers. There's a lot of them covering the different matches, and make sure that there's the best possible broadcast variety for you going on as possible to give you a nice feeling of watching every single match.
Absolutely. And now we got their opponents is Clash Champs with Patalino, Leo, Seleno, P. Castro, and Loop Zero. And P. Castro is the one that I'm definitely keeping my eye on for an attacker that could be bringing in the Skelly LaLo. He's so strong with it. He can do so many different types of attacks, and it's incredible the value he could get with his heroes. It's just on another level. It feels like he's doing a queen charge without healers. Like somehow he just keeps his queen, his charging through the base alive. And I wish I could do it to their degree. It's just these players are just on another level.
I'm just wondering how the percentage can be 98.5, because I feel like if you have a hit rate 2 out of 4, it's like 100% twice, right? And then I guess he has double 99% maybe, which would be, I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But either way, what I'm trying to say is that he is crazy with having double 100% and then double 99 apparently with those percentages, which is well, that is unlucky. We have talked about those 9 fails. Let's hope that that's not going to happen in this match, because I think we all agree, versus Na'Vi, you do not want to time fail. They're just so efficient with their attacks. That is just crazy. But anything can happen in this match, and it's going to decide which team can actually move to the 2-0 bracket side.
Absolutely. Anything can happen in these matches. And here we go. Looks like we are now in with the very first attack as Gaku is kicking it off. And we're seeing those base or the box style base designs, as it is going to be the LaLo here from Na'Vi, as we got the raged up Yeti blimp going in to remove a scatter shot, taking out the enemy Raw champion to allow this queen to continue to push her way towards that town hall.
Yes, Clan Castle, a nice timing. I mean, that's always such an important thing with those blimps, that yes, they take down a lot of value. That is always one important thing. But the next story is always that you can lure out the Clan Castle, and you do not have to face that Clan Castle inside a lot of damage. We have seen that in just our last match, where we had to face the Clan Castle during a single Inferno Towers on that queen during X-Bows and everything. So you had to invest freezes, you had to invest rage spells and everything. So with this blimp early on, he's doing a great job of taking down the Clan Castle without any damage on his queen whatsoever, and now he can really charge towards that tunnel compartment. It's going to be in a sweeper, it's going to be in a rage tower, which is a lot of damage, but I mean, if there's someone who can pull this off, it's going to be Gaku for sure.
Absolutely. You just got to keep your eye on that queen's health. Can't lose that queen ability. You definitely need it with that Monolith standing near the town hall, as we have a headhunter. Look at the angle he deploys the headhunter. So it is in the rage to help speed up the king takedown, as that's going to run across, maybe pull a skeleton. No, just that giant bomb as the queen steps her way into the town hall compartment.
Yeah, she steps inside, nicely funneled with the king now working at the same time on the other side. So a lot of multitasking going on right now. The royal champion pushing in. She's supposed to go to the expo, which she is now. But the queen is under a lot of damage. The warden, the sweeper, the town, everything is shooting at that queen. He needs to invest that next rage really soon. That means the last rage is now invested, with the LaLo pushing in from the top right side, or should I more say, a couple of loons are pushing in from the top right side, with the royal champion in the mix as well.
As he's trying to keep this RC alive, but that multi does lock onto her. So she's going down, does not have the Diggy anymore. I think that unless the Diggy's somewhere in there, I don't see it, as he makes the RC invisible to help secure that multi-target Inferno, which was clutch, and now freezes that Monolith as the RC is pushing her way to the backside. The balloons are up. We've got pups, minions, the Phoenix as well. Queen stays alive, and we've got ourselves a 3-star again from Gaku. Well, this is the first attack in the match, but that means we saw earlier that Gaku hasn't failed yet, and he's keeping his streak alive. And Gaku, insane strong. What a brilliant attack. Getting the queen charge LaLo, using that blimp Yetis to remove a section and also lure out that Clan Castle. Brilliant attack.
I think he's now like 6 out of 6 or something, which is crazy on Town Hall 15. I mean, that is just super impressive. And this is always such an important thing because I think a lot of times he's just going first, which is something you should not underestimate. Having the pressure on your shoulders to always go first for your team is incredible because you are leading your team into the match. If your attack fails, it's always like a, oh no, could have maybe done something different, something better. Like I want to like get my team with a better start, but with 3-starring so often, having such a high 3-star rate on his team and going first, this means you always put up pressure on the other team. On turn of 15, 3-stars are not as common anymore, which means that if you always get this pressure on the other team, that is massive just on a mental level. And now Patolino is going in. We see the Inferno Dragons in this one, and we might see the Rocket Loons taking down the air defense. It's working, and the sweeper has been taken care of as well on the in the core of the base.
Okay, we have a sweeper down because it looks like he wants to come from the right side because that's the angle that the sweeper was pointing to come through as we see skeleton spells trying to come in and distract some defenses as the balloons and the Inferno Dragons are all down as he's being patient with his king and queen. Now sends them to the far right side. Battle Blimp with that warden to send it all the way to the town hall.
All the way to the town hall. Indeed, there is a red mine. We see the rage now happening. Can those loons take down the monolith as well? And the answer is yes. There was no tornado trap whatsoever, and now those Inferno Dragons have to take down most of the damage. The X-Bows are a big target because those are one of the defenses which can actually threaten those heroes, and as long as your heroes are staying alive, you are looking good. Double Skeleton Trap is popping and is delaying those heroes and the Inferno Dragons, and the X-Bows just keep shooting.
As that X-Bows push, will it keep is frozen there as that multi-target Inferno is also frozen, sending the Royal Champion to the bottom side. A lot of these Inferno Dragons did go down, but can he continue to push his way all the way up to the top with one more skeleton spell to utilize? This queen will have to walk around a little bit of these walls. Wow, look at all those Inferno Dragons. They kind of disappeared here. As now it's going to rely on his heroes to continue to finish this base off.
Yeah, the Royal Champion ability is getting forced early. The X-Bow has to go down, otherwise maybe the Queen can just finish the job. X-Bow is dropping lower and lower, and it should go down versus the Royal Champion. The Queen ability is still left to use. You can still use this Poison Spell if possible. Skeleton traps are popping up around this multi-Inferno tower. And so far it looks really good for Patolino, even though the Inferno Dragons, they just went down. The Black Mine hitting that poor little warden, but the Queens keep staying alive.
Yeah, that Queen with ability drops that Poison Spell just in case. There's the Tornado Trap right there. And luckily it wasn't where you sent the Blimp. You never know. Is it in front of the town hall? Is it behind the town hall? It's just a flip of a coin there. Or it could be somewhere else in the base entirely. It's all about the base builders trying to play mind games and predict where the attacker may send a Blimp or some sort of attack through. And we just saw that they won on the offensive side. Got the 3-star Patolino. What a brilliant attack using some Inferno Dragons to get it done.
Yeah, so far, two different approaches. We have seen the LaLo from Na'Vi, as you were expecting. You were already saying that they are really likely to have those LaLo attacks in their back pocket. But we see Inferno Dragons from the other side, from a team which is as well known for their crazy LaLo attacks. But overall, 3 stars for both sides. This is what matters in the end. And now it's back to the Na'Vi side. And can they just deliver another 3-star? That's the big question. Or is there maybe the chance for Clash Champs taking the lead? Because the question is always as well with like the teams, like one of the teams has to attack first. This is always an advantage or a disadvantage of attacking first or second. On turn 14 it felt like an advantage because you can pressure your opponent. On turn 15 it felt like so far a lot of times that attacking second is better because this means that you can react to whatever your opponent is doing. But if you can just keep pressuring your opponent, I feel like attacking first is not that bad.
Yeah, it's not, definitely couldn't be not that bad as well, but obviously if you attack last, you have that little bit of an insight of what you have to do. You have either if you have to go all out, you have to try to secure the 3-star no matter what, or you can be on the safer side of trying to get percentage You never know. It can kind of go either way as we are jumping in with the Stars' attack. And hey, look, that's what I thought he may come in with. He loves his Blizzard LaLo, and he's deciding to send in the Warden. The balloons pops that ability to try to get as much value with these balloons as possible as he frees up that poison spell tower that is right next to that town hall. As we got the Invis, Rage, and those super wizards trying to get their value.
With the super wizards staying out of the range of the poison is incredible, of the poison tower and the poison of the town hall, because the poison tower shot at those loons, I think. And take a look at that value. I mean, already one scatter down, the town hall down, rage towers, like one rage tower is down, a multi-inferno tower. The value is just looking incredible, but needs to freeze up those defenses because this queen is taking a lot of damage. There's now the icy golem tanking for her, and somehow he managed to not lose that ability. That is crazy.
Wow, that is going to be so helpful. This queen continue her way around now behind that king. As the Eagle Artillery locks down on the king, that queen is slowly getting healed up. But something I also did notice is when the blimp went down, the blimps, goblins, whatever came out, ended up passing the town hall and activated the tornado trap. So there is going to be no tornado trap on this attack for the LaLo, which is going to be very beneficial so he doesn't get spun around anywhere.
That's right. In addition to that, he's now trying to use the Royal Champion to snipe that multi-inferno tower as his queen is walking around the outside of the base, not being in range of that multi-inferno tower. Invisibility spell is getting used to redirect the expo, but it's locking onto the queen, which was not maybe the best decision. But remember, there is not much space left. As soon as the scatter and the multi-inferno tower are going to go down, there's not anything which can actually somehow defend this LaLo, because ground expos, Carbon, they're not the best defense against air.
Well, we have a Rage Up multi-target Inferno. Watch out, he needs to keep this frozen as he passes his way through. We got a red air bomb. Let's see if his balloons can stay up through this section. It's looking good, and the Eagle can't hit these balloons when it's on top of itself. And we've got a crushing attack from Stars with that Blizzard LaLo. What an impressive attack. That blip went perfectly placed using a freeze to freeze up the poison spell tower so it doesn't get launched onto his blimp and those super wizards, and just breaking the base down one by one in each one of those sections. Such a clutch attack there, as it's still all 3 stars in this match now, and the pressure is gonna be on Clash Champs.
That's right, Clash Champs are up next, and so far, as you said as well, only 3 stars, and it feels like every single time with a different strategy. I mean, yes, we have seen twice LaLo, but once with a Queen Charge and once with a Blizzard. So what is up next? Do we have another strategy up next? Because we have not seen the Titans just yet. We know how strong they are in the current meta, especially versus those box spaces. They can look incredible, as we have learned from Strat and ET Esports, but Clash Champs are known for their air attacks as well. They have used the Inferno Dragon so far to perfection. But what is up next? They'd like to run maybe the Queen Charge Electro Dragon attacks as well. That's, I think, what they've used in the past as well, with really good success. But the question is, what can they bring versus the Navi bases? Because the Navi bases looked not as easy in the past. They always had a solid defense. And instead it's going to be the LaLo. But, as I said it, with the Skelly Donut for the core.
Ooh, Skelly Donut indeed. We've got an Ice Hound in the mix as well. And there we go. The Bat spell to try to help remove the multi. Another one. Or is we got skeletons on the Monolith there. It looks like we might just have that as he's trying to take out these 3 buildings. Clan Castle has been secured. Multi's been secured. And now the Monolith is getting repaired. But no, it goes down as well.
That is some crazy value. We have a super dragon in there. That's interesting. That's the defensive rage. Was that? I'm right now a little bit confused. He has to snipe the defensive warden, so his super dragon is not taking too much damage. Did he want to take down just that multi-inferno tower, or do you think the town hall was on the menu? Because I'm not really sure yet.
I feel like the town hall was.
Oh, he found his queen into the town hall. Sorry.
Yeah, he wants to get this queen there because maybe the super dragon could have helped take that king down a little bit quicker or something. But that warden did do a lot of damage. Now his king is going into the enemy queen and scattershot up there, sends the world champion to help assist his queen because there's a lot of expo fire on this queen, or about to be, in this compartment next to the town hall, and the defensive rage spell is waiting for him.
Yes, but with that royal champion, she's on a good way of redirecting into the town hall. Royal champion ability to get that queen back in there. Come on, is she going for the eagle? No, the town hall is activated, which means the royal champion is trying to lock onto that. Queen ability to burst down the town hall, that's already a lot of value, especially considering that he still has the warden ability, because remember, he only invested a couple of spells in the first place and did not invest the warden ability to deliver a blimp to some specific part in the base, as Stars did in his attack.
Oh, he freezes up that eagle because we had... Oh, red air bomb freezes up the multi. He's able to get his way there. He sneaks the balloons in with just barely enough health as he continues his lava through. And look at that ice hound from that Warden Eternal Tome. Made it all the way to the right side. Stayed alive. And he says continue its way through. Now froze up that section. But that Eagle Artillery finally is now getting locked onto by these balloons. But those ice pups are so nice because they can slow down the defenses just by getting hit by the ice pups.
That was really important to make sure the eagle was not able to shoot. And now the loon's splitting up, which means the wizard tower cannot deal that much damage to take all of them out. And this wave of minions and ice pups and everything is just going to swarm the rest of the base. And with 10 seconds left, this is going to be the next 3-star. What is going on, Carbon? We are just witnessing a crazy match after crazy match with those high-scoring matches. And it's 6-6. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Navi up next.
Indeed. What a fantastic match this is. 3 stars after 3 stars. And it comes down to the small mistake that will happen. We know it always happens, right? Who is going to make it? And that's going to cost you the war. But both these teams are 1-0 here in the Swiss stage. You win, you go to 2-0, and you're 1 win away from advancing to next weekend of the playoffs. But if you lose, you have to continue to work your way back up. You lose 3, then you're out. But these teams that are 1-0 are definitely in a really good position to try to be advancing to the playoffs. But here we go with the next attack as we have Coma coming in for Navi. And we've got that Flame Flinger to the far right side to help clear this area, as it's going to be a hybrid. He's deciding to send the hybrid with the Miners and Hogs in.
I always love to watch a good Queen Charge hybrid, so I cannot wait to see how this one goes, especially because it seems like that he's charging on the opposite side, which is always a really big risk. I mean, let's be honest, there's an invisibility tower around the town hall, there's a rage tower around the town hall, which means his hybrid has to push through all of that. This is going to be a really risky plan. If there's like a lot of traps, if there's like a lot of ground skeleton traps, for example, this can be a really big problem for him. But so far, the Flinger is doing a nice job of funneling, but the hybrid is going to be pushed anytime soon into this 4 o'clock side, maybe?
Yeah, we have to keep our queen alive. There's the rage through these pups to scatter. Oh no! Unfortunately, that queen ability is forced, as now some of these lava pups are going to make their way over to the Flame Flinger. Probably going to open it up. Now the... No! The scatter shot locked on the healers, and the multi's taking them down too! Oh no.
No way. And take a look at that. There's even a lot of spring traps around the town hall. This is not looking good for him at the moment. The heal spell is keeping the majority of troops alive. There's the phrase for the invisibility. The rage is making sure that the town is getting bursted down quite quickly. Vulnerability. But is this going to be enough power for the back end? The scatter at the bottom side is still left alive. And it's not going to go down anytime soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, he lost his Poison Lizard as well, which helps slow down those defensive heroes. Royal Champion's going to lock onto this Monolith, but the Monolith is going to take her down, and he wanted that queen to charge her way further into this base. That multi and scatter shot, unfortunately, Queen not taking those down and losing the healers. And this one is our first fail. And of course, it happens after I say someone's going to have that mistake that will cost them the war. Is this that mistake? You know, the jinxing power is just too strong, you know, that it just seems to be.
You're saying you're trying your best to make sure that we're not going to get a 15-15. I understand. That is your...
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and I mean, with this power of jinxing, we won't see it either, so... It's all good, It's all good. But no, like, getting back to the attack, 82% is overall not bad. You have to say that first on turn of 15, but struggling with keeping the Queen alive, then getting unfortunate while he's placing that hybrid, having the scatter locking onto the healers, just worst possible timing. And then there were even traps against the hybrid, which makes this even worse for the attacker. But now Clash Champs can take the upper hand if they can get a higher percentage or just straight up 3-star.
Yeah, absolutely. You 3-star, you have the lead over the defending world champions, Na'Vi, who do have a golden ticket. So if Na'Vi gets eliminated, it's not the end of the day for them. They're going for the prize money at the end of the day. And if you win first place in this qualifier, trying to get the golden ticket qualifier, I should say, is $18,000 for first place. So that is a nice chunk of change there for the prize pool that you want to win. And if Na'Vi were to win, then it would go to second place for the golden ticket. But they have a lot of matches to fight through, as we got Loop Zera coming in with the Zap LaLo. And Itsu, we haven't been seeing the Electro Titans. We've been seeing a lot of LaLo attacks between these two teams here.
Yeah, it really seems that those two teams are prioritizing those type of LaLo attacks. I have seen that Klaus likes to run this specific type of LaLo quite a bit as well, which is invest a couple of loons with the Warden ability and the Blimp towards the Town Hall, take down one of the scatter shots in those box spaces, and always use a sneaky Goblin Blimp to take down the Town Hall, which gives you a lot of freedom then to play the LaLo after that, and especially to play your hero power, because with that you are going to guarantee lure out the clan castle, and then you can play the LaLo after, which is somewhat risky because you do not have the Warden left anymore. The Warden ability is missing, and the aura of the Warden, because remember, I feel like a lot of times people underestimate how much impact the Warden aura itself has. I mean, this is around about 600 HP on every single loon more, which is, that can be a crazy big game changer.
Huge, absolutely. That makes a big deal, as we do have a defensive rage that has come back next to that Eagle, the Ground Expos, the Grand Warden, and it will be raging on that multi-target Inferno. So you have to watch out. He's continuing this push with his heroes. King, Queen, Royal Champion to the top side. As that, oh, we also have another defensive rage on the back side for the other multi with the Tesla farm over there. That is going to be devastating to try to push through. So we have to keep our eye on how he's going to keep those balloons alive as he flies his way through.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the base is already gone. At this point, it is mainly this one multi-inferno tower against the world. And with that, I mean, against a huge wave of loons. It's important that the Hound maybe stays alive and flies across to trigger some traps, but I feel like that's not going to happen. The Hound popping too early, and this means possible red mines have a big impact if there are any on this side. There's the first red mine coming up. We have some more red mines coming up, and that is hitting hard. More red mines, and tornado trap, but the Inferno Tower at least went down.
Inferno did go down as these balloons are trying to path their way through. We have that defensive scatter on the backside. He has a Headhunter going into the Royal Champion. Queen's going for the bomb tower. She'll continue to walk around. The Headhunter did die off, so this defensive... Uh-oh, the scatter removes all the balloons! Itsu, the defense on the backside, hold strong, and Klaus is going to prevent the 3-star here from Loop Zera.
No way. This back-end defense being the big game changer. You can see his reaction. He is not happy with this scatter shot destroying his entire attack. It is still going to be a higher percentage, so they still have the lead in this one, the head-to-head, but with 4 attacks overall, with 2 attacks each on both sides of the teams still to go. Anything can still happen. I think you would have liked, especially versus the world champion from 2022, you would have liked to have this 1-star lead in the middle of the match, because that can be such a big game changer.
Absolutely. In that attack, I think Loopzera wanted his queen to continue to follow the king and whatnot up, maybe where the wall break was, so she can then reach over the wall and grab the scatter shot. But unfortunately wasn't able to do just that and fell ashore, which means that we are all tied up again. It is all tied up on stars here, so it can be anyone's match here. Both these teams are 1-0 here in the Swiss stage. You win, you go to 2-0, and 1 win away from the playoffs next weekend, as we have some amazing attackers still left for both sides to try to clutch it up.
And one of those OP attackers is going to be Kazuma, and there is no queen charge from him, which is kind of uncharacteristic. I guess a lot of times he just likes to do this LaLo, but the lightning around this is going to be the Expo, Warden, and Multi-Inferno, or what exactly is going to be the plan? But he's starting things off with 1 Electro Dragon. I love those surgical Electro Dragons. They're just so fun to watch, because I feel like people are never really paying attention to those little details, and that can be such a big difference. Is he going to rage that, or is he just... No, he's just going to take down this entire compartment only with an Electro Dragon. How do you see that in such a short amount of time? That is crazy.
Look at that. He's trying to take it down. The E-Dragon, no traps over here. So that E-Dragon is going solo into the multi, secures it. And then the Dragon Rider is going to try to secure the top multi. Look at that.
Is he going to then target the Eagle artillery directly? Is that going to be the plan? Because that would be just crazy. I mean, there's a sweeper he needs to be careful of, but he has 1 more Electro Dragon. Where is he going to use that? Top Eagle is down. Yes, now he's targeting that Eagle directly with this Electro Dragon. Kazuma, this plan is insane, but he does not have a rage spell left, so he just needs to make sure that this Electro Dragon is slowly but surely taking away those defenses. That plan is crazy.
Look at this. The E-Dragon solos and grabs all the belly. No traps over here on this side of the base. Absolutely dissecting it, which means that the traps have to be over here near the town hall, as the queen's gonna push her way to the right, as with a warded ability goes right away to protect these Inferno Dragons, as he freezes up this town hall. Still has a few more spells left, as he still has his world champion to send in this base. But will the Inferno Dragons lock out of the town hall?
Oh no, the town hall needs to go down. Everything else worked perfectly. The queen now following in, but those Inferno Dragons did not get anything whatsoever. The Warden goes down as well. The king at the top side taking down the scatter shot in just a second. The Expo locking onto that attacking siege machine. You still can use the Royal Champion, maybe with having the Super Dragon tank. There we go now. But this defending queen is going to deal a lot of damage, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a 3-star now. The Super Dragon has to take down the queen. Can he do it? Yes, the queen is down.
Wow, that Super Dragon.
Wow.
Did so much work there. And look at the Royal Champion. She's going to continue her way through. This attack is so close here as the Royal Champion takes the scatter. The Diggy's going to help stun that Archer Tower, help try to take it down, but these Skellies are a bit of a problem. And he might just have it if he has enough time here, Itsu.
Oh no, the time is ticking, but the Royal Champion is there, and the plan was just too good to not get it done. What an incredible attack. This has to be my favorite attack of the day so far. Just the surgical approach of taking down every single part of the base, just only the first Electro Dragon, was impressive, and I have no clue how you come up with such plans in this short amount of time. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah. It's crazy. You gotta just be able to be with that little creative mindset, I guess. Be able to have those E-Dragon values, sniping the air defense, the multi, and then just sending an E-Dragon, couple Dragon Riders, and then another E-Dragon to clear that whole top side. See, those are the types of plans that you, as a base builder, there's like, oh, you know what, just give you a round of applause. There's no way you're predicting an attack like that ever trying to defend. As let's see what Seleno can do, as he is also going to be coming in with some Zap LaLo. It is the air army here today. We've seen one hybrid, which unfortunately didn't work. But now we're back with the air and another early warden blimp. No! It's the blimp, and a tornado!
Ooh.
Oh no! What? Oh no.
This blimp was not even in the warden ability?
Nope. Oh, that.
I am right now a little bit confused, but this is really bad news for Clash Champs. I mean, we have just seen what a Rage Tower and the Town Hall can do to a lot of troops with the Inferno Dragons, and now he needs to somehow take that still out with, I mean, heroes. He has a couple of spells to support, but otherwise this is going to be really tricky for him.
It's going to be so difficult to push his way into this Town Hall. Makes the Queen invisible. He has no support other than trying to use some skeleton, or just one skeleton, and a handful of freezes. Can he secure this Town Hall? But remember, Itsu, no warden as well. So no matter what, he has to go all out for this Town Hall as it does activate. And that's going to be a problem. Is that a Lava Hound also comes out too, so it's going to stall up his heroes.
Oh no, things are going from bad to worse for Seleno in this attack, because with his heroes going down, he still needs to secure that second star. He has a haste, he has a freeze, so maybe he's just going to invest that to haste a couple of loons in there. But this is just going to be such an expensive investment. Right now he's trying to pick up outside buildings to like enable more percentage. He's now going to use the Hound to trigger for traps, trying to take down the defensive Hound as well. There's the haste, there's the freeze, and that is hopefully going to take down the Town Hall.
Let's see, Town going down, and is it secured? Yes, the Town Hall is secured for the second star there, but since that blimp pulled that early tornado trap, there is no risk of finding a tornado trap at this point. Obviously, there's no way to 3-star, as he's trying to just pick off as many buildings as possible for the percentage. But going into the final set of attacks, they're going to be down by a star now, and the percentage is going to bring them down. And the final attacker that we're going to see for Na'Vi in this match is going to be Klaus. He's going to come in, and can he clutch it up? And he has come in with many clutch attacks in the past, so he definitely is capable. He doesn't have the 3-star to win, even though a 3-star is a guarantee victory to move to go to the final match, or potential final, as it would be a 2-0 match. You win that, then you go to the playoffs for next weekend. But that one really hurt for Clash Champs, as now they are crossing their fingers, hoping for a defense, or a strong defense, against Klaus.
Yeah, and especially now with the percentage. I mean, Clash Champs was in the lead all the way with this percentage game, so they could always rely on a tie on stars and win then in the percentage face-off. But after this attack, this is not going to be possible really anymore, except we now have a huge fail of the Na'Vi side, which is not impossible, but unlikely, I want to say, especially with Klaus now coming up, as you said. And let's see if he's going to go with the classic approach as well, something which he likes to do so much right now with the Warden ability and the Blimp. This seems to be like a counter nowadays, which a lot of people run versus those box spaces. And no, instead oh, I love it. We see the recall spell. In this one, it's going to be a Queen Charge LaLo. Blimp still in there, but it seems like a different approach than what I expected.
Yeah, with this Queen to the left side, not using... Okay, I was going to say not using the healers, but okay. Wait a second. He's using all his healers. Itsu, typically, if you want to recall a Queen with healers, you don't deploy all of them, right? You only deploy, what, about 4 or so? So, or maybe 3 to... Or I think it's 4, right? Where you can then recall everything together. 4? Yeah, so you can then recall the Queen, all the troops, and then send her somewhere else, and then you deploy that final healer. He's just sent them all in.
Yeah, maybe he's expecting that the unicorn is going down, because when the unicorn goes down, then it's fine with the 5 healers. But if you want to recall the unicorn as well, then it's only 4 healers. So a lot of times if you charge the town hall with the unicorn typically is going down, you can invest 5 healers. But on this one, yeah, he just actually there's nothing really left. But okay, so the reason why he did this recall is because he wants to avoid the Monolith. The Monolith is such a heavy defense that with this angle, he's going to avoid that for quite some time. And this means he's saving more rages than just investing the new spell, the recall spell. So investing the recall spell, he's just better on the spell capacity than just powering through the rage tower. And at least that's what I feel like the thought process looks like. And now the queen is still on her way towards the town hall.
He's gonna push this queen slowly that way. She looks like she'll probably run to the bottom side, as now we're starting the LaLo with the warden and the warden ability going for this blimp. But it is gonna get pushed back by the sweeper as it lands, and he wants to take out that eagle artillery with it as the LaLo is moving his way through, as he wants that queen, which looks like he wants the queen to secure the town hall, as she's gonna make her way all the way around, as there's the next rage for this queen to keep her alive.
Yes, this queen has to get the tunnel. We have seen what happens if this main push, which is supposed to get the tunnel, is not going to get it. We have seen that with the blimp. We have seen that earlier today already as well. But this queen is trying her best to somehow manage to take down the tunnel. The black man is hitting the healer, which means it's 1 healer less. It's 33 seconds. The invisibility spell is getting invested to push the queen inside to take down the tunnel. But there's a skeleton spell, and the queen is going to switch to the storage. I mean, there's the freezes, but 20 seconds to secure the second star now.
He's moving through the tunnel, should be going down. He's got 1 haste. He had a handful of balloons. They've pretty much all died. With 10 seconds left, he does secure that second star just in time. But he was planning on this queen to potentially get into that town hall, or at least that maybe the warden with the LaLo to get a little bit more value, as this is only the 92% there for Klaus. Great effort. Unfortunately, not getting that one, as we're taking a look at the percentage. As you can see, Navi with a 94.8 there at the bottom of your screen, and Clash Champs only has a 72.8. Well, all you could do is per attack, you have to think about it as adding 20 percentage points. So the highest that Clash Champs could get is a 92.8, which is not enough to surpass what Navi just did. So even if it's a 3-star 100%, they will fall short on percentage. So Klaus got enough in his attack to secure themselves the victory.
Yes, and I was just like taking a look at the other screen because we have a couple of other matches happening at the same time as well, and I saw that the tribe match is quite close in the last couple of attacks. I think it's like 9-11, but tribe has 1 attack left, so that is a really close one as well. And depending on whoever is going to win there, that might be a possible opponent then for Navi, which would be a crazy match. But on this one, P. Castro is going in last for Clash Champs with another Skelly Donut. And we have already seen how powerful this strategy can be in the hands of a pro.
Indeed, we saw some value before, but P. Castro is looking to add a 3-star to the board for Clash Champs. Even though they can't win, they still want to end strong in this match against Navi, as we're going to see the queen off to the far right side being used with that giant in front of her. Let's see if he can continue to get some more value all the way to the air defense, multi-mortar. Trying to see, there's no wall breakers for this queen, so he's going to rely on the queen kind of setting her own path at this point here, Itsu.
Maybe what he tries to do to take down the defenses around the multi-inferno tower and then send the battle drill onto the multi-inferno tower, so that one is then taken care of. That might be an option. I don't know. Maybe he's just saying, okay, my king and my warden together are going to take down that defending multi-inferno tower no matter what. And this is kind of what it looks like at the moment. So we have now the heroes, pretty much all of them except the queen, getting sent into that compartment. And, well, Royal Champion, King, on the Town Hall. The Town Hall should go down. And that opening is looking incredible, to be honest.
That value with the wooden ability raged up. Raw Champion securing the Town Hall and trying to also grab that Monolith. And yes, look at the heroes moving all the way through this base, getting so much value. And like you said, a Battle Drill now coming to the bottom side, gonna move its way through as the LaLo is coming through, as he needs to freeze. As the Raw Champion does go down, you need to keep those balloons protected, as the scatter shot is gonna be a big threat here on both sides.
Yeah, those scatter shots we have seen already in the past how big of a threat they are. But with having loons coming in from every different angle possible and having a lot of spells for the back end, I'm not sure if that scatter can actually defend this base alone. There's the haste, there's the freeze, and even with the siege machine left alive, the plan was just too OP, Carbon.
So strong, and he still has an invis and freeze, crushing this one. And we saw both the Skelly Donut attacks got so much value and super strong. And Clash Champs is one of the best teams in the world at doing that attack strategy. And they look at the value. You put a Clan Castle next to another high value defense like a Monolith, Infernos, Scatters. You put them all close together and they are likely to be going down. But it's a tied up match on stars. But percentage is on Navi's side, and they will get the victory here in match number 2, pushing Navi to 2-0 and 1 win away to going to the playoff stage. And it just shows you how strong Navi is. They got a golden ticket, and now they're 2-0 in the Swiss stage here, Itsu.
That is right indeed, and I somehow cannot get over this that we have seen this result already today. It's like back-to-back for us now, 30-13 matches. The first one already as well decided on percentage, and this is the same thing here. We had a lot of matches happening at the same time. Tribe actually won the match with their last attack, so it might be that we have Navi versus Tribe in the next round, depending on how the randomized matchups look like. Otherwise, we have ET Esports winning again as well with another 13 stars. I have no clue what changed with them from the qualifier to this stage, but something did, because they averaged like 1 3-star per attack before that, and now they're like going 13-13 like back to back, which is incredible. So they are looking really strong. Strat won their match versus Emporium Titans with 13-12, which is nice for them. So we have Strat to the 1-1 group with the results, like 1 win, 1 loss so far. And another match which might be pretty crazy is then we had ET Exports winning with 13-12 versus Jazzmac EA. So overall a lot of high scoring matches, 12-13 stars quite often on the scoreboard, with us like 2 13 stars in our match. So overall, the teams are getting better and better at countering those box bases.
Yeah, indeed. And you never know what's going to happen. Maybe they decide to switch up a base for tomorrow or switch it up for the playoffs. And the one thing we haven't seen is the ring bases, right? I remember the ring bases are more like mind games per se, where you give a player a ring base and you're like, oh no, something's going to go wrong with it no matter what. Because if they don't get a 3-star on a ring base, I remember you've talked about it before, typically it can be a very low percentage on that. But those Super Archer blimps just make it so that it's not, you just don't want to even risk running a ring base because the value you can get. And here is the match MVP, and it is Stars with an incredible match. Well, 3-star. I mean, we saw a lot of 3 stars coming in here in this one, to be honest. So Stars deserving it there. Brilliant job.
Yeah, really good attack by him. But I have great news regarding our next match we're going to cover in this broadcast, which is going to be, well, it's going to involve Navi again, but we have their opponent as well, which is going to be Tribe Gaming. And this is going to be a super fun match. I mean, those two teams are facing off against each other. It's already like, this is like the Classico. It feels like sometimes in Clash of Clans. It's just crazy how good those two teams are. And Navi being the defending world champion, Tribe being second seed of last year, trying to get the revenge in this one. to get to the 3-0 Swiss stage, because this next match is all about getting to the next weekend. The team who's going to lose has the chance of making it there, don't get me wrong, but it's always just nicer. You don't have to burn less, or you have to burn less bases because you have one match at least less overall, and you're guaranteed already in the next stage, which is always a great feeling.
Yeah, especially if you win, like you said, you're in the next stage. You don't even have to play tomorrow, right? You're done. You just kind of relax. You can just rest and take it easy and just have that extra day to prepare for the next weekend and see and really just watch the other teams and see your potential opponents that you could face. And here we are. We've got the round 2 results here for the Swiss stage. We were in that matchup with Clash Champs and Navi there as a 13-13 Navi victory over percentage. Let's take a look at this. 12. Okay, so ET Esports did defeat United Gaming there, 13-12. Chasmic EA lost 13-12 in their match. Tribe Gaming won over VN 12-11 just by that 1 star. Strut took the victory, like you said, 13-12. We have UG Esports defeating X Team Early Bird right there. We also have Renegados defeating 13-11 over Prophecy Esports. And finally, Chasmac Gaming taking down Total Access 12-10. So now we have a couple teams that are going to be 0-2 and at risk of elimination. Just as many teams that are 2-0, same amount as are 0-2. When you lose 3 matches, you are eliminated. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be at risk of elimination, but it is some team. Not all the teams can win that golden ticket. Only one in this qualifiers here for a Rush of Clans. Man, that's going for that golden ticket. A lot on the line, Hitsu.
Yes, I could not agree more with you. There is just so much on the line for those teams getting the second golden ticket of this World Championship. But again, those teams, you have to give them a little bit of time of preparation, planning their attacks, getting into the matches, selecting the right bases. We do not want to see bad bases. We want to see the best of the best possible bases. So maybe some of you can screenshot them, copy them, use them for your own. Don't worry, it's going to defend hopefully really good for you. But we will get into that action in just a little bit, because for now we will just jump into a short break and we'll be right back after this one.
welcome back here. We are getting ready for match number 3, and it's gonna be Navi taking on Tribe Gaming. Oh my, a rematch of the previous year's grand finals. This is gonna be an absolutely slugfest. It's gonna be so much going on. I don't know who's gonna win it.
It's going to be crazy for sure. I mean, two incredible teams. At the same time, though, you really have to say, I feel like Navi, out of those two, being the way more consistent team at the moment, with Tribe having some really crazy peaks where they are somehow even getting like close to 15 stars on Town of 15. And the next match, then they're really struggling to get to the 12, 11, maybe even 10 stars. Sometimes it feels like. So it really is a big question mark to me. Which Tribe is going to show up in this match? Let's hope that's going to be a really fun and competitive match to watch in between those two super teams, we can already call them. But it's going to be fun for sure.
Absolutely, cannot wait. Maybe we can bring up the results of the previous round, so any viewers that are just joining can get a kind of a glimpse of where we're at, or maybe we even have the Swiss stage bracket to see where the teams are. That would be very useful to be able to review, because we know that there's a couple teams that are 2-0, a couple teams that are 0-2, and you lose 3 matches, you are eliminated. You win 3 matches, you move on to the playoffs, which is next weekend, next Saturday, Sunday. This is day 1 of the Swiss stage. We have day 2 tomorrow, and we still have 1 more match here today after this. So you don't want to go anywhere. We're only halfway through, still have plenty of more amazing attacks to be coming very soon. And the big storyline is, we saw in the previous qualifier with the golden ticket that Navi won that one, so they've already secured the golden ticket. Question is, Itzu, for anyone that doesn't know, what happens if Navi was to win first place again in this? Do they get a second golden ticket?
That would be kind of funny. Like, you could earn a second life or something. That would be kind of funny to see. But no, it's not going to be that way, Carbon. Instead, the golden ticket is going to get passed then to the second seed of this specific tournament. And then the second seed is going to win that golden ticket, which is going to get give that team the entrance to the main event of the World Championship. So it's a bit different overall. At the same time, Supercell did not want to deny a team of, well, winning some more prize money, so Navi can like take a chance of getting even further. But Corbin, we have the Swiss stage on our screen. We see the 2-0 teams, but as well the teams who have struggled so far quite a bit in the bottom side of your stage overview.
Yeah, unfortunate for X Team Early Bird and also Total Access, both 0-2, and then we had Prophecy Esports. And then I think that's Imperium Titans. There's so many within that family. Like, oh wait, look at that. We got in that family of Imperium Titans, we have 2 of them that are 2-0 and 1 of them that's 0-2. None of them are in the middle at the 1-1 stage. So they either, one of them's going to be making it for sure since they're facing each other. But we've got so many amazing matches. I'm trying to see another good one. Clash Champs versus VN. Would be also another good one right there, or even Strut that's taken on, I believe that's going to be Chazmac Gaming, because I don't see the EA or the tiny little graphic that would be there. But that's wow, there's so many matches that just could be fantastic to watch here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good matches for sure, as you said, to highlight on this one. We have, though, the Tribe vs Navi match up next in the top bracket. And I mean, this is just going to be incredible with the history as well between those two teams. With last World Championship, I mean, they played each other in the finals, and Navi back then came away as the winner, becoming world champion. And Tribe now tries to get the revenge to get their chance of getting into the playoff stage next week and having a nice opportunity and maybe even a better bracket for themselves, and making it all the way to then hopefully or maybe get their first golden ticket.
Yeah, you want that golden ticket for sure, which also comes with $18,000 if you win first place here. So also a lot of money on the line. These teams have been preparing for a while now to try to win that and make it to the world stage. Navi's already got it. They are relaxed, so it doesn't matter what happens on their side of things, but still, you're not going to earn any money if you don't make it out of the Swiss stage. So if you get eliminated here in this Swiss stage, you're taking home nothing. So I believe it only starts when you make it to the playoffs, and that's when you take home some prize pool winnings there. So you're still fighting your way through. There's been a lot of preparation, not only on the offensive side when you are practicing attacks, but the defensive side when you're building those bases, trying to trap for certain entries, bait certain players. But it's so hard to do when there could be so many different attacks that can hit a base, but you can kind of try to guess. Electro Titans, the Lightnings, some LaLos typically are the metas which a lot of base builders try to build against.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. There is a meta for sure. I feel like as well for a lot of pros, it is that most of them are kind of opting into specific strategies, which I think is overall a really, really important thing to defend them. And let's take a look at those stats. Those are the stats of the qualifier where the team has qualified in. And you can see Yo-Yo so far 4 out of 4 with an average of 3 stars. Kronos as well, really high on the percentage right there, 199 and then 3 stars. And Nebrax so far the team member which has struggled a little bit. So if he can show up, that would be incredible for his team in this really, really tough match versus Navi.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult match for sure, as they are looking for their revenge from the World Finals of last year, and that did not disappoint. That was an amazing match as well, and every time they face each other, everyone sits down and has to watch because it is such an amazing match. They are all such good attackers, and they are ready to go. The winner of this advances to the playoff stage here in Rush. So getting one step closer to trying to secure a golden ticket.
That's right. And just with the stats, Gaku, if you add those two stats, those two matches of today, he is 6 out of 6. That is just incredible considering that he's going first for his team always. That is really impressive. I mean, as someone who have played in those matches, the first attacker has just such an insane pressure on his shoulders because, as I said, like the first attack is such a big momentum setter for your team, for the opposing team. Like, yes, for yourself it's important to 3-star, but it's always then kind of like a bad feeling when your opponent is going to 3-star you. So it's like not only a boost for your own team morale, but as well for the other team. It's like a nice, I don't know, like downside, for, at least from your perspective, it's nice. For the other team, probably not as much. But this is why this attacking position is so important, and that's why it's so impressive to me that he just keep smashing those bases and keep going with those 3-stars. And it's not as easy as you might think, so that to me makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's impressive to see what these players can do and the mindset that they have to focus, because one small thing that goes wrong, they can still stay calm and continue with the attack, but it shows if the attack starts to crumble and they can't recover it, you know, it's the name of the game. Things happen, and 1-stars are a possibility as well. But you're going all out to try to get those 3-stars. Both these teams have tons of experience, not only in these types of situations, but also facing each other. So it's really becoming a big rivalry between these two teams, Tribe and Navi, getting ready to come in with their attacks, and I cannot wait for the very first one. Should be coming in pretty soon. We see at the bottom right, about 4 minutes left on the clock. So if you need to go use the restroom, get some snacks, get ready, because this is gonna be a fantastic match between these two teams here.
Yeah, I cannot wait, and especially from our side, we can again like speculate a little bit about what strategies we're going to see. I mean, we have just watched what Navi did in their match with using a lot of LaLo. We have seen a lot of like blimp approaches. We have seen quite a few queen charges. We have not seen as many Titans from them as you already said, But what do you think about Tribe? Do you think we see more Titans from them, or do you think they're somewhat similar to Na'Vi maybe, or what would you expect there?
I would probably say I would lean towards more Titans probably. I would still say Navi's still going to come in more LaLo, I believe, but I think that we're going to more likely see Electro Titans coming in from Tribe is what I've kind of been seeing from some of the previous matches that they've been in. But again, they can come in with any attack in the game and even make up ones on the spot, but most likely probably won't do that because they might not be as confident. But we saw like what Kazuma did and how he used an E-Dragons and Dragon Ride is insane stuff of what they can come up with on the fly. So really, you have to dissect each base, and the pressure just starts mounting higher and higher as it gets later and later in each match. So I think Electro Titans could be a safer call. But what do you think of the attacks both these teams may come in with?
I just overall think that both teams are somewhat similar, and they prefer, like, they really like to go with a lot of attacks. I think that's what both teams are really famous for. So I think they're kind of similar in that. I could see for sure that Tribe is going in with some Electro Titans, but I would see as well that they are really good with their Queen Charges. It sets, like, for example, Exorcist, who is really good with the Queen Charge LaLo, kind of similar to what Gaku does on the other side. So I think they are overall really good attackers. But what I hope for as well is, as you just mentioned, the attack of Kazuma. That's what I'm hoping for, because this to me was so far the highlight of the tournament with this one attack. If you have not watched it, make sure that after the match you can rewatch the stream quickly and check out the attack, because that was an incredible attack with the Electro Dragon and everything what Kazuma did. So I cannot wait to see what he and his team are coming up with this this match. And, well, you can see they're planning. That's kind of how it works. You have to just completely ignore everything else if your team is already, like, speculating about the next attack, because I feel like something which some people might be surprised about, a lot of things in Clash of Clans, because the time overall, the planning time is that limited, a lot of things are based on individual performance, like really planning out the attacks and, like, discussing it and everything. That's not really how it works, because you have just so little of time, and then some people have to, like, attack. Then there's typically, like, one player in the voice with them to spot, like, do calls like, hey, be careful, there's maybe a troll Tesla and things like that, like communicate with each other, give them, like, cleanup calls and things like that. But then the planning itself, I feel like, is a lot on the players itself to find those and everything. So I think this might be a misconception by a lot of people, but nowadays you need to be really good on your own, and then it's more like about the spotting. Like, that's the biggest team aspect, I feel like, with those teams. So let's hope that there's going to be no misunderstandings in the team, and both teams are be able to show their best.
Yeah, they gotta bring their best in terms for this match. Everything's on the line as we're counting down the last few seconds before we'll be jumping into the very first attack of this match between Tribe Gaming and Na'Vi. The rivalry is there. They have faced each other in last year's World Championship, and the winner of this match goes on to the playoffs, which we will see next weekend. If you lose, you'll be 2-1. You win again, you're into the playoffs, but you still want to try to make it as a 3-0. The momentum is key. That's what you've talked about before, Itsu. And we'll see if these teams can carry it going in to the very first attack of this match. They've both been strong, but Na'Vi has been a little bit more consistent on sides. But here we go as we are kicking this one off. Kazuma has the very first attack with the Zap. Wait a second, Itsu. Is this Super Dragons he's using?
Yeah, he just used Electro Dragons and Inferno Dragons. Now he's going in with the Super Dragons. I mean, Kazuma is on a mission trying to really always set up the correct attack depending on the base, which is, if you're completely honest, this is not as common anymore. A lot of people like to just one trick, one strategy, become really good at it, and then just force it on different bases. And because you're just individually so good at using this strategy, it's even hard to bait those. But he really is just picking bases apart and saying, yep, this strategy is good versus that base, that is good versus that base, and trying to pick always the correct strategy, which is really impressive. And him going first as well. Like, Gaku is not first on this one, so maybe he needs some more time planning.
Yeah, they've said, hey, you know, whoever's ready to go ahead and take it on. The challenge is here, as now we have to keep our eye on the time, as he has just under 2 minutes with that queen now to the top side. That flame flinger getting some fantastic funneling. So it looks like he wants to send. Look at the sweepers. They're both pointing to where that Eagle artillery was, so he can come straight into the town hall and not get pushed back by the sweepers there.
Yeah, now the Super Dragon's just straight into the Town Hall, especially with the Rage Tower touching that Town Hall. The splash of those Super Dragons could be massive for him. The one Testoon already triggering a Black Mine, the Super Dragon triggering another one. There is now the freezing the Ground Expo as well, which is on the Queen side, which is a nice, really nice move. But the Queen just keeps getting targeted. He has to burn the Queen ability. There's the Rage of the defending Town Hall, and the Warden ability is coming in as well.
As that Queen, does pull out the defensive Lava Hound and Rocket Loons here, as these Super Dragons need to continue their push through the enemy Queen, trying to make it to that multi, but that that Rage Spell, the defensive side, did so much work, as the Warden is coming back alive with the Phoenix. We're starting to see a little bit more Phoenix being used onto that Warden, which is getting some fantastic value, but unfortunately, the Super Dragon gets locked onto that Lava Hound, trying to clear these pups with the Raw Champion, but no ability here left, and there's quite a bit of defenses that he's gonna have to push through. And time, too.
Yeah, those are not only the best teams on offense, but as well their defense is incredible. Some of the best base builders are working with and for those teams, because remember, we only see the 5 players of the team. Yes, some of them are building bases as well, but the majority of them are the masterminds in attacking. The defensive side, those are always like the people in the shadow, like behind the teams, which are just incredible in building those bases together and getting them ready for those tournaments. And that's already the first defense for a tribe. But a great defense is one thing. You always need to make sure that you're turning this around then on offense, because if now tribe is doing the worst percentage attack now versus Navi, this solid defense means nothing.
True. Absolutely. They have to answer. And I think the person that's going to set the tone, or really you could tell how they can potentially win the match, is going to be Nebrax, right? Because he was 0-4 and he hasn't been getting those 3 stars. So if he can come through with his attack later, then that could be really good for Tribe. But let's see what Yo-Yo can do on the offensive side now, as he did defend against Kazuma. Now it is the LaLo, so no Electro Titans here. It is LaLo with bat spells being used on the outside to cause some distraction onto the air defense and send that Stone Slammer to sneak in to probably blizzard this town hall, as that bomb tower goes down, and then the Stone Slammer will sneak in behind and get some nice value.
There's the invisibility spell, nicely done, making sure the Expo is not getting turned invisible. Oh no, one of the wizards is following the Hound, but the Town Hall going down, that's the important thing. I think they would like to take down some more Builder Huts. Is he going to get it? No, no more Builder Huts are going down, but the Clan Castle has been lured. It was a lot of investment early on, but the Town Hall is down, so at least what he was coming for has went to plan, but now it's all about the follow-up, because Carbon, time is ticking as well. Only the blimp, or like only the siege machine has been invested. It's already over 1 minute and 10 seconds of the attack is gone.
Yeah, the question is time, but also that Blizzard, the Super Wizards didn't also get the Builder Huts, didn't get the defensive rage, didn't get a single to try to sneak in there. That would have been some fantastic value, but the Queen's ability is forced, and we got double skeletons. Can he grab the scatter shot? He does grab that value, as he still has one more invis to use somewhere in the space.
There's the Rage Tower going off. He has one invisibility. Maybe use for that Queen to take somehow the Inferno Tower out. There it is. Is it going to be enough? That Inferno Tower would be crazy, considering that he's doing a lot of attack. And he would get the Sweeper as well because of that. There we go. Sweeper is down, the same as the Inferno Tower, but he's he's going straight against the sweeper down at the bottom side.
Wow, that was fantastic value that Queen was able to just sneak in and get as he's continuing this LaLo through towards that right side as we got balloons going into the bomb tower. The red air bomb is going to be a little bit of a problem. The defensive rage does so much work as he tries to move through, but he has the World Champion with her ability to skip through here, and it's looking good here for Yo-Yo.
What an attack this was. This again was really out of the box with how he approached with that blizzard, taking down the air defenses so he could directly target the bomb towers, because you never want to land on top of bomb towers. This is like the worst possible thing for you, because those bomb towers are going to one-shot your super wizards. But with using that slammer, I'll be back in just a second. But
I'll turn it back on. It turned off.
Okay, so it's just full cami. It's fine as well as until Carbon is back. But yeah, overall, really nice approach with the slammer on top of that bomb tower to take it out, to really make sure that those super wizards are going to survive in this attack. And then with a great hero dive, barely keeping that Queen alive to take down the multi-inferno tower, and then the LaLo just straight into the sweeper from too many different angles, getting that 3-star in. But that is only one attack done. Carbon is back. Hopefully for a little bit longer. And
my camera was like, there was too much going on, too much amazing attacks. It couldn't handle it. So let's hope that my camera can stay on and we can continue to watch this. But no matter what happens with the camera, I'll still be hearing the voice, casting it, bringing it with you here with you, Itsu. But let's see as we get into the next attack, as we've got Gaku has been strong, and what he has decided to do is the E-Dragons. All right, I'm paying close attention. How does he use the E-Dragons? Because I am terrible with E-Dragons. I need to learn.
Yeah, E-Dragons, it's always, a lot of people think they're just like spam them in and you have success, but it's not as easy, to be honest. You can, yeah, sure, for 2 stars you can just spam them in, but that's not the result people are looking for. I mean, you want to get those 3 stars, and that's not as easy as people might think. The surprising thing to me right now is, though, that he's going into the tunnel with those E-Dragons. Oh, first Blackman hitting. Now another heater. What's surprising to me is that he's going to go with those E-Dragons just straight into the town hall with double air expo. So that might be a problem to him, depending on how the screen is now going to go. He's going to charge in here, and then he's going to recall that queen as soon as he's picked up the defending queen and that defending defenses as well. Right there. Oh, there's the recall, because you do not want to waste too much time, Carbon.
Yeah, you don't want to waste time. That's your biggest enemy here. But E-Dragons can be fast. We've seen them 3-star bases, especially in the lower town halls, so quickly. Like, I think we've almost maybe seen an E-Dragon attack 3-star in like a minute. Like, that's how fast they can move through because of their chain ability. But here we go as the E-Dragons get ready. We have to pop that one ability through the town hall explosion. Otherwise, those E-Dragons will die so quick, as that Flame Flinger is to the left side as he does activate a tornado trap near the town hall.
Yes, and he already had another Blackman hitting those healers, which is really, really important to keep those healers alive if you want to have your queen staying alive. We have the poison against the defending super minions, really nicely timed. And now the Electro Dragons are trying their best to stay alive and get those chains out, but those defensive rages are just doing so much damage to those E-Dragons with those defenses combined.
Yeah, those rages are so nasty there, but that Flame Flinger is still going, trying to make its way to the scatter. We have King ability. The Royal Champion is still up. Her ability just goes off as she's going to go to the top side. Out comes, look at this. We're seeing a lot of super dragons being used in the siege machines, or in the Flame Flinger here, as that's going to move through. It can really absorb a lot of shots from the air defense. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he decides to use that. As look at this, it's getting close as he takes down the multi, and that queen is just hanging on here, but it's a race against the time. There's a race against the clock. 13 seconds. Come on, Gaku, you can do it. Let's go, and there we go. It's a 3-star for Gaku, getting it done with the queen walk, recall into E-Dragons. Brilliant.
And especially, I feel like it was such a smart move of him using the E-Dragons into those RX bows, because this meant there was literally no damage on his queen. This queen just survived the entire attack, getting the entire base done. And, well, with their queen staying alive and just working her way around the outside and the E-Dragons clearing the core, this attack was beautiful, really nicely done. And this is what we have talked about with those specific counters, like walk both sides of the town hall, then just send super dragons or electro dragons, both work versus those bases, versus those box bases, and then just send them in, take down the core of the base, and have your queen finishing the job. So really good job by him. But now it's back to Tribe, and they still have this one defense open, if you want to call it like that, because, well, if they want to have the lead, or keep the lead more like, then they need to get a high percentage or a 3-star.
Absolutely, and let's see if they can do it here as Kronos, the captain of Tribe, is ready to answer the call. As we've got Skelly's bats to help remove that Monolith and Clan Castle. Can he get the value? Yes, and wow, went down, no worries. I always worry about those builder huts, but not worry there, as a blimp is going into the Inferno Tower. He opens it early to help take that down, and any other buildings near this defensive king, but he doesn't go for the Town Hall with that blimp.
No, he's just trying to funnel his queen into that town. We have seen that now a couple of... Oh, wait, is he going to... He's just switching it up. Normally, we always have the queen going for the town hall, and we have the king going for the scatter shot. But because there's no clan castle left, he's switching things up. He's now going for the town hall with his king, and he's going for the scatter with his queen, because that is easier to funnel. King walking inside and should get that town hall if everything goes to plan.
I just noticed he's coming in with 36 hogs, Itsu. It's not a LaLo deck, it's the Hog Riders, as he's got a heal spell in the mix as a bomb towers. And wait, if you could take out both bomb towers here next to that town hall, that is clutch. That's a lot of value. You don't have to worry about that splash from the bomb tower hitting your Hog Riders. Down it goes. Queen's gonna burn ability, take out the enemy queen and scatter. Oh, this is looking really good so far for this value.
And now the chaos begins, because I have no clue. Those Hog Riders are just going to swarm the base. You never know how many of them are alive. These spring traps are going to make you lose your entire wave of Hog Riders in just a second, or if things go to plan. It's always a lot of chaos going on, but I feel like that's as well what those Hog Riders are supposed to do. Just confuse everyone. The viewers, the attacker, the defenses, and he's celebrating already.
He knows it. Oh, look at that, overwhelming the backside, and Kronos, brilliant hit there with the Hog Riders, the Skelly Bat Donut Hogs, absolutely crushing and putting another 3-star on the board. What a gorgeous attack, and somehow he kept... Wait. You know, hogs just are not allowed to stay alive, Itsu. They just have to disappear at the end of the attack. It's just the rule, I guess. It's just, I always see hog attacks, just, the hogs are just gone by the end of the attack, but, hey, brilliant 3-star there from Kronos. Well deserved. Amazing.
And I feel like a lot of Hog attacks nowadays are not even using heal spells. I feel like especially the Queen Charge Hog Rider attacks are using rages to get them as quickly into the base as possible, because heal spell kind of feels useless, especially against rage towers, because you won't heal a raged up scatter shot. If a raged up scatter shot is going to hit your Hog Riders, they are just going to go down. You can just deploy as many heals you want. They have no chance of surviving. So I feel like the rage spell makes sense, because you want to get as much value out of your Hog Riders as possible during the Warden ability, because this is the crucial time for your Hog Riders. You want to push through as much as possible, and this is exactly what happened in this one. He has the back end healed because it was like a hero dive in the beginning, so no Queen Charge, no spells invested for his Queen otherwise. So overall, really good attack, but both teams are still close. Yes, Tribe has right now the lead, but Na'Vi is up next. They can, again, 3-star, and this match stays for sure close, because only one fail of Tribe, and this entire match is open.
Navi's got a triple. That's what they're looking to do. We had one from Gaku, the answer, but Kazuma, unfortunately, he fell short. So now he's looking to help, potentially be a spotter to help with any plans, maybe things that pop up in the attack. Troll Tesla, which we don't see now really at all nowadays, but you never know. But here we go into the next attack, and it is Stars with a LaLo, and it's not a Blizzard LaLo, which he's been coming in with a lot lately. It is a Zap LaLo, and he's deciding to take a heal spell for the LaLo as well, Itsu.
Is it? Yeah, just was saying, like, thinking, is it going to be again one of those blimp LaLo attacks where you just fly the blimp across with that warden ability? The sweeper is against those loons at the scatter. Is he going to get that? It seems like he's going to get that scatter shot anyways, maybe? Yes, no, yes. He got that scatter shot. That was the important thing for him. That's why he invested the haste as well. But now he needs to lure this Titan away to take down the Town Hall with the... Wait. Did the Town Hall say, like, did the Titan took down the... Oh my goodness.
Yes. Wow, the Electro Titan walked past just enough to kill the sneaky goblins. The unfortunate luck there that ran into Stars. The Electro Titan was clutch on defense. And now, can he recover? And he's decided to start the LaLo with the Warden. You know what? Why not have the Warden assist your LaLo, as you have to secure the Town Hall, but you just don't have a Warden ability, though.
Yeah, no Warden ability. The Poison Tower is reloading. Remember, those spell towers are just so unforgiving. They just keep reloading if you do not take them out. Now he needs to keep freezing that Town Hall in combination with the Poison Tower. I mean, it is his Stars. He was somehow able to transition the Warden over to his LaLo, which is just incredible. He just keeps freezing that Town Hall, and those heroes are keep going. And remember, he still has a heal spell. I'm not sure where exactly he's going to use it, maybe for the Dragon Rider or something. And he says the Royal Champion to get even more percentage. And, I mean, considering this start, this is looking really solid.
Imagine he got the Town Hall down. It could have been a completely different attack with the LaLo, as he didn't want to send it into the Town Hall. That was just as like insurance to help save it, the 2-star. But that Royal Champion securing the scatter, there's no way, right? There's still an Eagle that's doing a lot of damage. We're going to have to freeze the Monolith as he gets close. And a heal spell pops the... Wait a second. Stars.
What?
No. This man...
He's wagging a heal on this... No way.
How?
You can't do this to him.
You would think the moment the Town Hall fails to go down, it's a defense, but not against Stars. This is no way this actually works still. Are you serious? The most insane recovery ever done by Stars. Wow.
Okay. He is missing the Town Hall and he keeps wagging a heal spell. Something has wrong. Maybe someone should tell him that Town Hall 15 is supposed to be hard. I mean, what is this? This is just crazy. I mean, I don't want to be the person who built that base. I mean, that is going to, like, whoever built that base, I'm sorry for you, buddy, but that is going to be a huge meme. Oh my, that attack was incredible. Swagging the heal even in the end. Turning this attack around. I mean, there's only one person in the world, let's be honest, who can do that, and that is him. No one else could have done that.
Indeed.
That was just incredible.
Incredible indeed, but let's see what Rikiris can do with that Skelly Donut. Oh, nothing to take out. Okay, is this grabbing the Inferno? The Clan Castle, but not going for the Monolith here. So interesting that he wants to leave the Monolith up in this attack, but sending that Queen close to the Town Hall. And it is a LaLo, not Hog Riders, that we saw from Exorcist, who also did a similar attack.
Yes. We had quite a few of those, I think, overall. But still, it's all about the heroes. I think those heroes, if they get the value with this setup, that's the crucial part. Yeah. Because remember, you take down the Clan Castle to make sure that a possible Hound, a possible Ice Golem setup is not going to come out to mess up your hero pathing. and this is why you're trying to do that. He's freezing right now. I think he could have gotten the Expo, right? Maybe. And the Queen just keep going, but the Town Hall is not in any danger just yet.
Yeah, the Town Hall is... Oh, the Queen's going to go up to the Grand Warden altar. Take out the defensive rage, but... Okay, there's the Tornado. She's getting pulled back, not able to grab the Grand Warden, and he's going to sneaky goblin the Town Hall here, as there's no... Oh, one small bomb, and the rest of them can go in to try to secure it.
There we go. Nicely done. Town Hall should go down. Okay.
Oh.
After the attack, which we have just seen, I will never call this too early again with this Town Hall takedown. But Town Hall went down. Slammer is in against the Sweeper, which takes some time. And it's only 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this one. Rikira is starting the LaLo, but there's still 70% of the base left standing.
How are you gonna 3-star this Rikiras with this little time remaining? You have to have the Royal Champion coming on a different side of the base. The LaLo's gotta all move No, never mind. The RC goes in with the Warden. There's just no way this 3-stars with this little time.
He has to use those hastes really efficient to get those LaLo troops through the base as quick as possible. Warden ability to haste though. No, wait. The haste did not catch the defending, did not catch those headhunters to take down the defending Royal Champion. But anyways, she's going down. The Loons are trying to go through those two Sweepers. The backhand Scatter is now getting frozen together with the Expo. 30 seconds. Corbin, he's getting closer.
Oh my, he's got the RC ability. He's got to save onto it to skip to the buildings as he's moving around. We have the Grand Warden altar. That's going to be a big problem. There's the RC ability. Down it goes. As it's now a race against time for the cleanup. Can he do it with the sneaky goblin, which is clutching the storage? He's liking it. He's clapping. It's looking like a 3-star, and somehow he gets it with that little time remaining. Rikira's impressive attack. Oh my. Wow.
That was a really, really clean attack. Just having the eye of actually knowing, okay, with my clean, I won't get the Town Hall, but I will clear all of the buildings around the Town Hall, which are resource buildings, so I can target that Town Hall with sneaky goblins. Really nice plan. And that was like a 1 minute LaLo, it feels like, for 70% of the base. That was impressive as well. And those players... We did not hype this match up for no reason. Those players just back-to-back showcasing why they are few of the best players in the entire world.
Absolutely, they are. And this match is not disappointing, showing why it is such a coveted match, why so many people want to watch these two teams battle every single time they face off. It is just amazing. And here we go with the next one as Coma for Navi, one of the new players joining Navi here. Let's see what he can do. And just like what Gaku did with the Queen Charge, Queen Walk, Recall, E-Dragons, as he's forced with an early rage, as those double expos, Tesla Grand Warden is a lot of damage on his Queen here.
Oh, I think I know what he's trying to do. I think someone tried to do that in your Creative Master series. He's trying to charge for both ground expos, so he can use the Flame Flinger then for 2 multi-inferno towers. I think that's what someone did in your Creative Master series, and it looked really OP if he would have not lost the Queen ability maybe.
Yeah, that's going to hurt there. He did lure out the Clan Castle, which looks to be a triple Ice Golem CC. That Flame Flinger could get a lot of value, like you mentioned, if he drops it over there, as he's not deployed it just yet. But to keep our eye on it, we have an air defense at the bottom side. Rocket Loon's coming up to the top side to try to grab that air defense. But this Queen is going to get stalled up by this 3 Ice Golems. As you're right, the Flame Flinger is going down to the bottom side to try to go in for those Infernos.
Yeah, and there's nothing now which could outrange them. The Tesla already got triggered early on from the Queen, so there should be no more Tesla either, no traps either. And this now can reach a lot of defenses, the Eagle, the Rage Tower, everything. So that should be a lot of value. But keep in mind, that Queen having no ability left, he needs to make sure that she's staying alive. And Rages, there's only one Rage left. Oh,
Only one as he now pushes his way through. That queen is just staying alive here as that eagle. The eagle's raged up from the defensive rage because he got taken out from the flame flinger as he needs to move his way in. And look at this. He's still saving onto his king as this queen might just walk her way to the expo, then towards the scatter shot as he pops the ability to protect these E-Dragons into this town hall.
There's the freeze. Those E-Dragons have barely any hit points whatsoever. The red mine is actually taking one of them out. He needs to get that town, or the queen is down as well.
No.
Oh, the plan was just so good, but the E-Dragons, there were too many black mines from Tribe. Now there is more skeleton traps to deny that town hall takedown, but a nice invisibility spell. Is it going to be enough, though?
RC ability will be able to damage the town a little bit more, but he's already deployed that king. RC ability, RC ability, RC ability. No, no.
No way.
Where's the king? He's down to the bottom side. That town hall is not going down. What? Oh, come on. Fortunately, that town hall is going to stay, and he's got nothing to go for it. He deployed the king already and didn't save him to try to go for the town hall. I don't know if he would have directly targeted it, but Kronos with the defensive 1-star here, and that is going to put Na'Vi down by even more. So with 4 attacks used by Na'Vi, it's all tied, and Tribe has 1 less attack used. So that is devastating to Na'Vi here against Tribe.
Yeah, and I feel like overall the base, the layout overall felt like more like a ring base to some degree. Yes, it was a box base, but you had a really big tunnel compartment with like some key defenses in there, and then there was like just an entire ring around it because all of those walls were open around that town hall, which kind of made it look like a ring to some degree, which I think is quite interesting that we see now box bases slowly but surely like getting evolved into like a different setup. And I don't know, maybe the ring bases are back, Corbin, maybe.
No, don't say he said the ring bases are back. Oh no. Imagine we got a box. It's called a ring box, you know? Maybe, who knows? What we're seeing now is Nebrex. Okay, a lot less pressure is on him in this attack because of that 1-star as he's coming in with a light. Wait, it's 36 balloons. Wow, that is quite a bit of balloons here in this attack, Nebrex.
That is indeed. We have no wall breaks. I would have guessed that he would wall break his queen into that multi-inferno tower compartment because you could have reached that eagle, you could have reached that multi-inferno tower, so that would be quite nice. But instead, he has the lock launcher to do so. I feel like it's not going to be quick enough. No, the queen is not going to walk in there. Instead, she's walking around. But the Inferno Tower should go down either way.
Yeah, that log launcher takes it down. Now should be able to secure the Eagle Artillery. Makes the queen invisible, which also makes that Lava Hound invisible too, so the queen doesn't target it right away. And oh no, she targets it. Go for the queen. Queen, what are you doing? We do have the Electro Titan. That's going to help clear this Lava Hound pretty easily. No worries there, as now he's not waiting. He's going to start the lava, but the enemy queen is going to get pulled to the balloons down south. So he's got to send some headhunters to try to secure her.
Yeah, a lot of headhunters are invested to get that queen out of the way. But now his own queen is in the core of the base. A unicorn shot. Oh, wait, queen ability. No, the queen is going down through her ability, the tornado trap, keeping those loons busy. Remember, he just needs to go for save 2 stars, actually, to get this win overall. And that's what he's getting right now with that one ability. 2nd star is down and the Royal Champion getting some more percentage. And the Dooms are picking up even more.
Moving his way around with the Headhunter. Royal Champion's going into the defensive RC with that freeze. Onto the scatter shot. Onto the ground expo. He's not looking just for the 2 stars, Zetsu. He's looking for the 3 stars as the RC's got her ability and looking to try to clutch it and make a statement in this match. And look at that. The RC ability will skip through the backside. 1 balloon left. And brilliant attack here. Nebrex getting it done with plenty of time left to clean up. And look at him celebrate that one. Brilliant hit here from Nebrex.
That was a beautiful attack right there. Getting it done, and you can see him celebrating. For the match itself, I mean, at this point, it feels like not the most important thing anymore, especially with the 1-star defense. But we have just talked about the momentum for the players. Just the good feeling going there into the next future matches is such an important thing. At the same time, there's a difference if you're losing like with maybe 1-star difference, or if you're losing and getting a 1-star on your own, which then has to be really important for the other Na'Vi members to really like build up again their team member, to make sure like everyone is cheered up, to make sure that they're getting to the next stage, which is the playoff stage then next weekend. From this one, Na'Vi up next. We still have some amazing attacks to watch, hopefully, and some cool plans, hopefully, to watch.
Yeah, hopefully we'll still see plenty of action to come. And if Tribe, well, it looks like Tribe is going to. It's not really more if. They have such a large lead at this point, meaning winning this match right now, you will not need to play tomorrow. You will advance to play next weekend in the playoffs. Since you win 3 matches, you are 3-0, or you could be 3-1, 3-1, or 3-2. You could, as long as you get 3 wins, you advance. That's the big thing. If you lose 3 matches, then you are eliminated. It's not like you lose and you're out. So if you're wondering if Na'Vi loses this match, which they are most likely because it's of the 1-star and they're down by a lot, then they still have another opportunity later on to still make it to the playoffs, as Klaus is now in with his attack. And the final one here for Na'Vi, a 3-star, will tie it up, but Tribe will just have to get a star to win no matter what, as we're seeing another one of these attacks here coming in with a Warden ability blimp to go take out the Queen with the Headhunters and the balloons to grab that scatter shot.
Yes, this is such an common approach nowadays, which is so strong. We have seen that so many times from him. And wait, is that? Yes, the Town Hall is going down. Sneaky Goblins getting that Town Hall out of the way, which is super important. And there's now the Titan, which is saving you another spell, because the Titan is kind of replacing the poison spell in this army composition, which is always a nice thing. Tanking the Clan Castle as well, especially if it's like a damaged Clan Castle, which we have just seen. And the King and Queen are now about to push into this anti-LaLo part, where we have the raged up multi-inferno towers, where you never ever want to access in with a LaLo army.
Yes, he's gonna. Oh, that was a lightning spell a little bit later there to help remove the Infernos. The Queen's gonna go into the other Inferno to help secure that. If he can grab that Inferno, grab the Eagle, the value is wild with this here. Look at all this. As he's continue this World Champion through, this Queen is at no threat of going down. She can even grab that Monolith as she makes her way up there.
Ooh, we have the Monolith. I know the ability is getting forced early, so the Monolith is going to stay alive, pretty sure about that. But at the same time, the Monolith is not the biggest threat to LaLo, right? It's more about like the multi-inferno towers. I think this raged up multi-inferno tower is going to be a huge problem for him. That's why he has to freeze it, keep freezing it with the haste. He's trying to push in, and the Royal Champion, the Steel ability, that could be massive, especially now as he approaches out of those bitter huts.
Wow. Look at this. Klaus absolutely crushing this one. A brilliant attack. Another attack using that early Warden blimp balloons to take out the scatter and an enemy hero. We're seeing it work really, really well here against some box spaces and even stars with an insane recovery. Definitely one of the best recoveries we have seen yet at Town Hall 15. Brilliant 3-star here from Klaus right there with that LaLo, just crushing these bases with it. Brilliant hit. Very nice job. But unfortunately, a 1-star from Tribe Gaming will be enough to help advance them to the next round, which would be the playoff round for them. So they will be done, as Na'Vi will have to win at least one more match to try to advance as well.
Yeah, and remember that going into the playoff stage, we have like somewhat of the seeding, if you want to call it like that, depending on how your score is out of the Swiss stage. If you're a 3-0 team, it means that you won't be in the same bracket tree in the playoff stage as the other 3-0 team, for example. So it gives you a little bit of an advantage, being able to get into the playoffs from the upper seeding, if you want to call it like that. But We have Tribe up next with their next attack. And the question is, can they still get the perfect war? Because we have not seen one of those just yet.
Oh,
I know I said it, but come on, we have
the word. You said
we have,
it. Oh,
we have to talk about it.
It can't happen. Oh, it can't happen. You said it. You said it. It's too late. We know it's guaranteed, written in stone, that it can't be a perfect war. But let's see. If it's not, we know who to blame. As Exorcist is in with a Queen Charge LaLo. As he's got, well, it's a Queen Charge Zap LaLo with a couple lightning spells to help remove the multi and not getting the invisibility spell tower. Oh, no.
Well, that is not on me, just saying.
It's who?
Just to
what
be.
Did you
just to be.
Uh-oh, did you? Oh,
no, but like,
boy.
We have now the Bell Drill, interestingly, go into that compartment. He wants to open maybe the... No, he just wants to have a Yeti Blimp into that defending Skelly compartment, right? Like, that is what he's going for. And instead of investing the Blimp and possible, like, expensive test loons, he has even a Headhunter in there. But I feel like without the Rage, he's not going to get that far. Even the Scatter's going to survive.
Oh, no. The problem is those Headhunters... He froze him. The Lava Hound, unfortunate timing that came over and now distracting this queen. But look at this. He also has to deal with the invisibility spell tower behind the town hall, which I think he would have potentially wanted with the lightning, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll have to see, as that queen's going to continue her charge into the town hall. Remember, all he needs is a 1-star, and they advance. So no pressure on him at all, but he's still going for that 3-star.
Yeah, he's trying his best to get towards that 3-star, but I mean, he does not have that many spells left. Let's be honest, and there's still a lot of base left on this setup of Koma, and well, he has to use the wait. He has no freeze, so this queen is going to struggle to get the town hall. He has the ability to maybe get it, but the tornado trap is being really frustrating to handle as well.
Oh,
wait,
the queen, can she secure? Yes.
Okay.
Oof. All right, well, so LaLo is now moving around to the top side over towards that Monolith. Now, just missing that lightning spell, causing the town to go invisible, losing your healers because of it, as the Royal Champion is now making her way into this Eagle Artillery core compartment, as we have a Tesla's popping up next to the Scatter, and that defensive Royal Champion on the backside is going to be a big problem.
Yeah, this did not go to plan. Exorcist getting a high percentage still, but I feel like just the time is not going to be enough overall. I mean, he's still getting really close, but the defending Royal Champion is going to be the difference maker, I think.
Yep. Defending Royal Champion is just going to be a little too much. If he has enough time, he might be able to get it, because the Warden and the minions can definitely take her down with the Owl there. But he's gonna time fail this one. Exorcist, I think he wants to take that lightning spell back. And Exorcist, I don't blame you. I blame Itsu. He's the one that didn't get you that perfect war, because he jinxed it. But an impressive performance from Tribe Gaming, coming away with 14 stars to 12. Look at that at the bottom. Well, I mean, it'll add up to that, but very nice effort there. Not able to get the perfect war, but still an impressive performance against Navi, as they will be advancing to the playoff stage, which will be the very next weekend. And will we see them in the next one? They'll have to win another match to have a chance.
That's right, for sure. Overall, the 1-1-star was so unfortunate. The plan again was really cool with the Queen Charge for the 2 ground expos and then the Flame Flinger. I liked the overall setup, but the Eagle being activated too early, the Eagle non-stop targeting for him the wrong troops of himself, and this just really cost him. But I think otherwise, we have our next match already happening really, really soon, if I am not completely mistaken. But let's just take a second look at the MVP, because Kronos was chosen as the MVP in this one with his crazy Hog Rider attack.
Oh, wow. The Hog Riders indeed did amazing work. Crazy the value that they were able to get, and I was impressed. Like, using those hogs to push your way through to get that sort of value, definitely worth it. And impressive hit. Yeah, stars, the recovery that he can do is at another level, but still, you love to see some different attacks like hogs come in and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. And another thing which is quite important to note is the second team which made it to the next stage, because, well, we just watched one of the two teams which had 2-0 record, and overall 2 teams already made it to the 3-0 record overall. The second team was Esports, where Kingsman and his team made it to the next stage as well. Overall, impressive job by them as well. Congratulations. But for our next match, we have our next match happening really soon, in just around about 4 minutes. We should have our next attack starting with the next matchup. And that next match should be X Team versus Total Access, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Okay, now this is the battle of the 0-2 teams. So we went from 2-0 to these teams winning. You advance to the playoffs. Now we're in the stage of 0-2. So now you lose, you're eliminated. Both these teams have not won a single match. And so now the question is, can they turn it around? We've seen in the Queso Cup where if there was a team that went 0-2, and then they went 3-0 after that. So they finished 3-2, allowing them to advance to the playoff stage, which then that meant we also saw the opposite happen, where there was a team 2-0 and then they lost 3 in a row. Anything can happen here in the Swiss stage, so you have to stay on kind of the tips of your toes, on your feet here, so that you can keep balanced and you can't lose that momentum. You lose that momentum, you'll be eliminated from the competition.
Yeah, I feel like especially if you lose like 2 matches back to back, it's really hard to keep concentrating.
Yeah.
But this is the matches we had been playing at the same time. The top 2 matches were from those teams who already had the record of 2-0. So the winning teams actually made it to the next stage. We see ET Esports and the match which we just watched, Tribe Gaming, the 2 teams making it to the next stage. We had Chasmac Gaming winning versus Strut, which means Chasmac Gaming is moving to 2-1, Strut to 1-2, surprisingly. We had, Chasmac EA just demolishing United Gaming with a 14-9. Okay, that felt like a rough one. 5-star difference. That is okay. 98%. And then Clash Gems edging it on percentage versus Found Esporting. Another close one. Renegados losing even with more percentage versus UG Esports. And this means the last couple of matches, those are the matches which are going to happen in just a couple of seconds.
Indeed, yep. And we'll be taking a look at the X Team Early Bird taking on Total Access here next, as I'm sure there will be other community streamers that will be covering Prophecy Esports versus Emporium Titans. So if you want to watch them as well, be sure to check out the community around in many different languages so you don't miss the matches, as we will be potentially seeing which team is gonna be eliminated. That is the question mark here in this one. Who is going home and who has still a chance to advance to the playoff stages for next weekend?
Yeah, who can start his comeback story in this match? That's the big question. The comeback story would be amazing, and this is the updated the bracket which we have before this round. We do not have the teams in the 2-1 bracket matched up and everything, because we are still waiting for the last couple of results of this round, which are going to happen in just a couple of seconds. As you can see below me, the timer ticking down, and then we will get straight into the action and give you a nice bracket update then right after.
Indeed, we're getting ready for the first set of attacks that will be coming in. And if you had to pick one of these teams, which one are you leaning towards? X Team Early Bird or Total Access? Where are you going?
That is a tough question. I think I would go to X Team because I feel like they were quite consistent in their appearances in those events. But to me, it's a really rough call.
All right. Well, we'll have to see as we've got Melly here for X Team Early Bird looking to defend with the Town Hall. It looks kind of interesting near that Town Hall as the defensive Royal Champion and the Queen are towards the edges of this base here as he's going with a Blizzard. LaLo looking to help take out the Inferno Tower. The wall broke open, and will he step in towards that Eagle? No, he doesn't. He stays to the outside.
And I'm right now, if I would say a little bit confused, that would be a huge understatement. We have 3 single Inferno Towers and no raged up multi-Inferno. I mean, this is obvious that we're seeing a LaLo attack. I mean, those raged up multi-Inferno Towers are always the reason why LaLo is so hard on Town Hall 15. But if you don't rage up any multi-Inferno Towers, well, people are just going with LaLo. So I feel like it's not going to be easy to defend this with single Inferno Towers. But let's see, maybe he can prove me wrong.
Let's see, it's all about that timing as he did clear the CC, which is nice, so won't stall up his heroes anymore into the space. As the Ice Comb's going to lead the charge, he's got 2 wall breaks. Let's see where the first one will go. Okay, it opens straight into the tunnel compartment, so the Queen will follow behind this King. There's the second one, which should open up towards the Builder Hut, allow the Queen to get a little bit of a cleaner path towards that Monolith as the King's ability goes off. The Phoenix comes back. Resurrects the King there as he continuing this push. Will the Queen step in for this Town Hall?
He has the invisibility spell, so he could redirect the Queen if he wants to, but instead he's starting now with the LaLo, so he really needs to make sure that the multitasking is on point. The Queen with her ability has to take down the Town Hall, but I think that should be good to go. The Warden ability is getting used early. The Queen ability can be used any time now, and the Rage Up Scatter is not doing anything because that Warden ability is just lasting forever. In the single Inferno Tower versus LaLo, have fun. You won't do a lot versus that, buddy.
Oof. Yeah, as he finds a handful of red air bombs, he's moving his way into that single. Like you mentioned, he's over. He's got 4 freezes still. Like, this is why you definitely have a raged up multi. Look at this. Is he not going to use them?
Use them?
Yo, what are you? You're not using them. He's swagging them all.
But why? I mean, in the first attack, where time could be, I mean, at least the haste usage.
Imagine.
Where you can speed up the attack. If this is going to be a tied up, like match, those are unlikely to happen. But still, just the tiniest of chance. Why would you throw that away? I mean, that is just so interesting to say the least.
We'll see.
I mean, let's hope that that's not going to be a deciding factor in this one.
I don't think so, but it could. You never know. It could. And if you're curious, why is it talking about speeding up an attack? It's a crushing attack. Why not swag the spells? Well, because at the end of the day, the average attack duration, which means whoever is quicker at 3-starring in the base or quicker at attacking the base will have the overall tiebreaker. That's why it's important. So if it's tied on stars, if it's tied on exact percentage, like to the decimal point, then whoever tripled faster is the tiebreaker. It says in the game what the average attack duration is. So you could go into your war right now and see the average attack duration for your current match. And that is the final tiebreaker. That's why you always want to use your haste spells to speed up the attack to finish it off. That is for sure. As now we're seeing Draco coming in with a... Okay, I think this is the first time we're seeing actually the Super Archer Blimp being used in an attack.
Yeah, and let's hope there's no connection lost. But this Blimp is flying all the way towards that Town Hall, opening it up soon. We have a defensive Electro Titan. We have just seen how strong and annoying that can be, but I feel like this time the Super Archers are staying alive. There is the clone. There is another Rage. And now the invisibility to keep those troops alive. And he tries to take down as many of those multi-Inferno Towers because those are raged up and those are going to hurt versus LaLo.
Yeah, you got a lot of value, including the CC, which the Electro Titan did get lured out. So, I mean, he just got the building, essentially, now. As that Queen's up top going to try to clear the Electro Titan up there. But remember, no Warden ability for this LaLo to move around. So that is going to be painful. You have to keep your eye on, look at the double rages next to the multi-target Infernos. That is going to be a hard path to push through.
Yeah, the wall break running into the base did not really open anything, which is important because he did not create better pathing or anything like that. The Queen is going to run around the outside. The Royal Champion could have jumped over those walls anyway. This Royal Champion has to get a lot with her ability now. The Royal Champion ability is getting forced, and she's taking down the Sweeper as well, which is quite nice considering that he's going to play a LaLo without any spells whatsoever.
As he moves his way, ooh, doesn't get that other rage spell. That could come back to really hurt him, because it's going to come back and reactivate, making that multi-target Inferno raged up yet again. As we got 7 more balloons, as that Ice Hound is flying across that air defense. The World Champion gets pulled. More balloons coming down, but he doesn't have any more spells. These balloons are going to go down fast in this multi-target Inferno.
Oh no, the multi-Inferno Tower. This is why we see multi-Inferno Towers from those pro teams, because it is just so good versus LaLo, and we have just seen what happens to bases if you use a single Inferno Tower. It is just not possible, and the Queen trying her best to make sure that the percentage is crawling back into an area where it's not too bad to start a match with. Getting one more building with the defending Royal Champion building. It's going to be a 95% overall, but a 3-star is not on the table for this one.
Good percentage there. So if it comes down to a tied up war percentage, can play a big role. Well, it will play a big role, actually, as the LaLo doesn't get there, like you talked about. The defensive rage spells next to the multi-target Infernos makes it so difficult when you rage up the multis, especially also that Grand Warden, the Eagle Artillery. It is just such a nightmare trying to push your way through that section. So we'll have to see what Total Access can do after the first attack, which was a crushing swag, like, what was that, almost 5 spells, I believe, into that attack. So it was still, I mean, it was the perfect attack for the base, right? Single target Infernos, like you said, no rages next to them or any multis. So really, that's why he swags so much. So it's just the base design was just taken advantage of. So let's see if Total Access can do that again here.
Yeah, and especially as well, like from a defensive side, I feel like this first base, which we have seen, was just not the greatest compared to many others. And I feel like this base, again, is looking way better than the first one. Just looked like maybe they activated the wrong base in the first, like for the first player. Who knows? But this base already looks way better with the rage towers and everything. It looks way more like the current meta, which we see a lot. And it's going to be a Blizzard LaLo attack on this one, starting with those super wizards around the town hall. And this opening looks great.
It does look good. Not able to grab that monolith because it's no, the town hall was good, going down there as the Blizz. Oh, then a few more buildings with those super whiz. Nice. As he freezes up the headhunter. Oh, and he also activates the tornado trap. That's going to be very nice for the rest of this LaLo attack.
There's one wall break. He might be able to get the wall break targeting the compartment with the mortar, but let's see how that's going to work. The wall break has not been deployed just yet. The king running not in front of the queen. There's the wall break now running. Is it going to connect? Is it going to get to the wall? Yes, it does. It's going to open up perfectly for that queen to get access into that scatter compartment.
Oh, and he pulls out one more ice golem here, so that's going to be a problem. Pop queen ability, yes. Take out the queen, go to the scatter, go for the scatter next. No, it goes for the ice golem, so he sends the World Champion to stun it to help take that down, as the LaLo is now starting to the bottom side of the base, moving towards the Eagle, but watch out, the defensive rage, so he freezes it. See, look at that. He freezes that rage in multi. He freezes it again because he doesn't want that rage up section. He freezes the other multi. He's using all his freezes through this section. That is exactly why you want to be using the defensive rages on your bases, because it is nasty to try to push through. So that's why he's freezing it in front of it so that it doesn't hurt his troops as much.
Yeah, and great vulnerability like helps everything to push through the core. But that scatter shot again on the back end is a big problem. Diggy, nice stun to keep those troops alive. Now the question is, does he have enough power for the back end? There's an air defense, there's a wizard tower, and there's the monolith still left alive. And I feel like power-wise, this might get a little bit close, Carbon.
It's gonna be close. I'm wondering how much health that monolith has. If the builders were next to it repairing it, then it'll be full health. If it wasn't, then it will be a pretty low health, and I think he's got it. Even if it's full, oh yeah, it's low health. So it's gonna go down, and that's gonna be a 3-star there. And we've got it done there for total access. Well done, as X Team Early Bird is going to need to turn this one around. That's back-to-back 3 stars for total access. Brilliant job for them. They are answering when it's an elimination match now for them.
Yeah, really clean attacks overall. I mean, the first attack took advantage of the defensive flaws overall really nicely. The second attack, great super wizard blimp in the beginning. Nice follow-up, and even better LaLo, to be honest, with great timings of the phrases and the vulnerability in the core. And now it's back to X Team. As you said it, they need to get those 3 stars in to stay close, because I feel like on turn of 15, as soon as you fall behind, it is just so hard to come back into this one. Especially, both teams so far have lost 2 matches back to back, so the mental is it's not in the greatest places most likely. And now having such a start, it is even like, oh come on, let's just give up. Or this is something which you have to avoid, because this would be like This would be a nightmare to happen, but it just can't happen to you so easy if you're in a position like this.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep that mind strong, as we have now the next attack with one Electro Titan. It's another LaLo, as it's going to be using probably super archers. And no warning, okay? So he's not going to necessarily go for that town hall, right? There's no way it makes it. So he's going to go for this whole section. Oh no, another Electro Titan. Don't take out the CC. We've seen it before. But here's the double clone. I'm trying to get this value.
Yeah, the value looks really good. But remember, everything which he's taking down right now, the same thing is on the other side as well. I mean, there's another Rage Tower with X-Bow, with Multi-Infernal Tower and so on. And he's not even getting the core buildings, which means Clan Castle, the troops already came out, but the defensive Monolith, for example, is staying alive, and that could be a big problem moving forward. And look at that, he has only 1 hound and 27 loons left. This is not as many, considering that you have to still face a Rage Tower and a Scatter and a Rage Multi.
Yeah, that's a lot still to push through. That is a single target Inferno down south, so if he sends a hound down there, which he probably is going to, then it's going to pop very quickly with probably a bunch of spells or traps in that core next to that multi waiting for him, as that king and queen are pushing their way to the town hall. But you have to think about time. Eventually you have to start that LaLo, as the king, Electro Titan, and queen are looking to secure the town hall and the buildings up here.
Yeah, there's a lot of value for those heroes to get the queen following that king nicely. But still, I'm just really scared of the far left side. Yes, there's the vulnerability left, but with the Royal Champion coming in from the top side as well, something has to take down as well the back end Eagle. He's going to leave that Eagle to the back end. He's not going to get into that early on, and that Scatter is going to hit early versus those dudes.
That Eagle artillery is going to do so much damage to his balloons as he continues to path through. But he wanted to use that Warden ability through the defensive Rage Tower. But look at this. This is why the Rage Spell Tower is being used. It is so strong. The balloons are gone. They are no more, as he tries to continue to push through, but unfortunately not getting the value with that Super Archer Blimp, when I've used the Super Archer Blimp, I always try to get the Town Hall because I know I don't have spells left over. And if I don't get the Town Hall with my Super Archer Blimp, then it's like a lost cause at that point. I know he didn't go for the Town Hall. He had planned his heroes to go for it, but you don't think he got enough value, right? What would he had to have gotten to make that Blimp valuable to probably make this have worked? What would you say?
I think overall, it's fine if you go for less value, but then you have to use less spells. We have seen that now from, I think, Na'Vi was like one of the first teams, and I think Tribe did that as well quite frequently with Super Archer Blimps near the Town Hall, but with way less spells, like only one clone, less invisibilities, and so on, to make sure that you have spells for the back end. This is then where you can go for less value, like he just did. Yes, you still got great, like a lot of buildings down, but as we have said, the exact same thing was mirrored on the other side, which then had way too much on the back end. So way less investment maybe on the Super Archer Blimp if you get this limited value, and then just use back end spells like in haste or like True Phrases on this one could have really been a big game changer.
Yeah. Freezing like that raid spell, even before it goes off like we saw in the previous attack, that did really nice to allow that Warden to push through with that LaLo. As now Soam is coming in with a couple Rocket Loons, and we've got
when I have seen the last time regular Warbreakers, that he already uses 2 super troops, which is the Inferno Dragon and the Rocket Loons, pushing now in with his heroes, and is having the Inferno Dragons already around the town hall started, I think. At least one of them has been placed.
Yeah, he's freezing the Town Hall. Look at that Inferno Dragon charging up its beam, taking the Town Hall down as the heroes are going to the bottom side. Brilliant job, as now the Town Hall has been secured. He's getting the value in the core with his heroes. There's an invis, and out comes the troops from the Clan Castle, which we got. Is that Giants? And oh yeah, maybe a Giant Yeti. When Rocket Loons are now coming in from the right side of the space.
What an amazing opening so far, but the question is, can those Rocket Loons carry him through the rest of this base? Royal Champ ability to take down the Testa farm, if possible. Queen ability is going to be used as well. And there's the Bat Wave coming in. No, he missed. Okay, he missed the freeze, but the Wizard Tower was already on low hit points, so it's all good. But the Scatter Wizard Tower, he has to hit those freezes on the back end. No!
Oh, no. He's already used it. The Scatter Shot would... the Wizard Tower, and he's got more bats coming in from the right side. The Scatter will go down. Maybe not. No! Not enough freezes to help secure this one. Oh, the bats. Unfortunate. It would have been absolutely crushed if he was able to somehow find a way to distract that Wizard Tower, freeze the Scatter, but that's how close it is. Nice try.
Yeah, nice try overall.
Not able.
The Wizard Tower is not good. He tried to take them out with the Rocket Loons. That's what the Rocket Loons were for, but not making it overall. I have seen him many times to get this attack to work, and it's just really cool for him to like being able to show this off, even though it's like this one building, the Wizard Tower not going down. I think otherwise this would have been a crashing attack because the bats would have been inside the inner range of that scatter shot, which then would have led to them not getting targeted if the Wizard Tower would have been down. So really unfortunate, but they are still looking good in this match. Still 8 stars, a couple of stars lead on their opponents. But well, X team now, they really need to get things started. They now got a defense. They now need to turn this around with a 3-star to make sure that this match is getting close, because right now it does not feel close at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate for X team. They do need to turn around. The opportunity is now. They got their defense. Can they 3-star? If they don't, then it's just not in the cards for them. They'll go 0-3 in the Swiss stage, meaning they will be eliminated, and Total Access will have that next opportunity. But it's not over yet. There's still just a few attacks to go. So X team, the time is now to turn it around. And let's see what their plan is. We've got that Blimp, and it's the Blizzard with no Warden here, looking to secure... No! Super Minions. Okay. Super Minions that look to secure the Town Hall and the buildings around it.
Can we get the air defense as well? The Rage Tower is going down. There's a Black Mine hitting few of those super minions, and I mean, except the Bitter Hut, there's nothing really being able to target the super minions. So if they are quick enough, oh, there's a Tesla. Maybe they can even get some more buildings out on this left side. But either way, we have now the Queen pushing in and the King charging in front, so the Queen can hopefully get some more value. But I feel like, isn't she going to wrap around to the Bitter Hut and is going to go in the core? Maybe that's even the plan. Who knows? We will see what is going to be the next step.
She may go to the mortar after the storage if... Well, no, never mind. Let's see. She goes storage first. Mortar will go down to the King. She may get pulled. No, does not get pulled to the Royal Champion. Out comes the CC. Makes her invisible. Oh, a Super Dragon on the defending side of this base here. This Super Dragon actually might do a lot of work to this LaLo here. Watch out.
I mean, this is like... It will do a lot of work, I guess, because... I mean, the Royal Champion has to take it out. Otherwise, the King won't take down the Super Dragon. A poison is not left anymore. So what is going to be the plan against the Super Dragon? Loons are having no chance whatsoever. Minions are not good either. So the Super Dragon is actually going to do quite a bit of work versus his troops. And the first question is, where are his troops? I feel like a lot of things are just going down.
It's looking good, though, as Headhunters come in to sneak in. That Super Dragon was distracted on that King for so long. He's got one more Giant to distract, maybe on the outside, as we have the Balloons continuing that path through as a Royal Champion is going to take out that Super Dragon. As the Royal Champion popped her ability, we have that Wizard, and moving through with the clean up, getting it done. And there you go. It is a 3-star, and we just got to get a shield, and we're good to go, so we can continue to watch, you know?
That would be pretty bad not being able to watch the rest of the match here. Hopefully we get a shield, spend some gems. That's how we have to do it. But yeah, this is going to be the first 3-star for X Team, and this is exactly what they had to do with this match now. Getting a bit closer, and maybe they can still turn it around.
We'll see if they can turn it around here in the next attack. Don't forget, get that shield so we can watch. It's very important. But yes, that was the answer that they needed, 100%. Now, will Total Access put another triple on the board, or will they fall short in the defense? So the question is, the attacks that are coming now, the players didn't have that initial say, oh, I'm ready, I can attack first. The players that are attacking here maybe were like, you know what, I didn't have a plan, so I'm going to need more time. And maybe they still aren't too comfortable, so you never know what happens. Granted, they have a little bit more time to plan, a little bit more time to discuss with their clanmates, but the pressure starts to mount here for both teams as the risk of elimination is here.
Yeah, and especially now, it's up to them. It's up to Total Access to keep the control, because they had it. They had like a 2-star lead. It's now up to them to kind of lose it, which does feel even worse if you're on voice. Like, you have everything under control, and then everything, like, nothing really feels that it's working anymore. But they keep having to face those diamond-shaped bases, which is interesting because otherwise we have only seen those box bases. And this time we see a recall spell in use with this Super Archer and Titan Smash, and I cannot wait to see how that's going to unfold. Wait, what is that multi-phone? Why is that not a single phone tower?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. But what I was going to say is that I found this interesting with, well, the Super Archer tech. We saw it once before, and I was like, well, there's one player that I know who does it, and it was Halo. And here we go. This is Halo using the Super Archers, the one person that I definitely knew liked to use his attack strategy. As we see the Queen recalled, but she got that value. Getting the Town Hall, fantastic. And now using it to the far right side to make his... I'm looking with the Eagle. Okay, the Eagle is a little bit closer to the core here where that Clan Castle is, so he's got to make his push in.
Yeah, he has to really... make sure as well that the Queen is stepping into the right direction, because I feel like there's no Bay Dragon funnel whatsoever. The top side King is already started. The Queen might easily... oh no, he is not funneling. The Queen is going to walk to the right, no?
Yeah, she's going.
Wait, is that intended?
She's...
It's intended, but why the king at the top?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that's intended, as the super archers are going to make their way in, but he's going to have to deal with the clan castle, which now just gets lured out of here.
The wall breaks were great to get everything back together as soon as he's reached the first compartment. Now the poison tower though is activated, and that is really annoying to handle. He could have triggered that maybe early with like 1 or 2 loops.
That queen definitely walked. He did not plan to push that queen to the bottom side, right? Maybe he switched up to a siege barracks. Maybe he wanted to go log launcher from the top and just try to break through. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused, to be honest. I'm not really sure what the plan was. I feel like if he would have went from the bottom side, like if he would have planned that, he could have for sure just used a couple of runes as well to trigger the poison tower, because he lost a lot of troops inside that poison. So yeah, surprise, but this means that X Team now has the chance of coming back. We have just talked about the control, which was built up by them, like from Total Access, and now everything kind of falls apart. If X Team is going to 3-star, this match is just getting flipped on its head.
It really is. We'll have to see what X Team can do. Can they get another 3-star? They need it bad here to put real pressure on Total Access, because 3-star would put them in the 10, and then they would be tied on stars, and then it comes down to the percentage, because 3-star would also actually no, they would take the lead. They would take the lead on percentage, and they would be tied on stars, so they would have the advantage. So if they triple out their next 2 attacks, they win. That's what now they know. They triple out, and they move on and stay another round, or I would say another day, and try to win tomorrow. As we got lightning spells, we got dragons, and a clone to use, probably with that blimp to fly all the way across that base.
Yeah, and just triple out always sounds easier than it's done. So they have to get this somehow done with the dragon, Inferno Dragon, Dragon Rider combination, and with his queen on the far opposite side, and well, most likely a blimp to fly towards that town hall. Do you think that's baited? Because this monolith is really offset, and this blimp looks really good, so maybe there's a tornado trap. Let's see.
Let's see indeed. We got traps. Blimps going all the way across. No tornado trap yet. There's the clone. And, okay, town hall goes down. Oh, the tornado trap was in the other side next to the multi-target infernos. The dragons are going to continue their push towards this eagle artillery as his heroes are running down to the bottom side.
The heroes are going around this bottom side with king ability still left. He is looking really solid. Even the golem is left alive, and the queen is getting healed back up by the unicorn. The royal champion has not even been deployed yet, and so far there's not many defenses left on this base. This attack is looking incredible for X Team. This cloned Loonblin over that monolith did magic for him in this one, and the Inferno Dragon's just taking those defenses out one by one.
And he's got the royal champion. Look at that. So what is this attack? This is a lightning dragon clone? Okay, now that's something that we don't see every day. Very nice attack there. Really broke this base down, and just like that, X Team Early Bird has come back. They stayed with it, and the pressure is mounting, and they are answering, which means now Total Access, from having a healthy lead from the back-to-back triples, are now down in this match.
Wow. They had the 2-star lead, and now everything is just flipped. That is crazy. And especially in this in this moment, with everything just feels lost, being able to turn this around just like that, this is super impressive on a mentally level. I mean, like on a mental level, this huge props to them. They have now the lead, but we have seen this match getting flipped around now already at least once. So the question now is it going to be flipped yet again? Because there's still 2 more attacks to go, and anything can happen by now.
Yeah, anything can. So Total Access, you 3-star, you force X Team Early Board to 3-star. If you don't, then they just gotta get 2-star and a percentage to beat you. So this is it. This is the final set of attacks of day 1 of the Swiss stage. We have day number 2 tomorrow, and then we have playoff day 1 on next Saturday, playoff day 2 on next Sunday. And after that, gives out golden ticket number 2. Navi already has one, so if they were to win another, then it goes to the team who they defeated in the grand finals, if that's the case. But also to keep in mind is Navi is not necessarily fighting for the golden ticket. They're fighting for the prize pool. First place takes home $18,000. So there's a lot on line. If you lose here in the Swiss stage, you're taking home nothing. All that work and nothing. You got to make it to the playoff stage to make it into at least the prize pool and start earning something. So there's still a lot left on the line, but both these teams will have a long way to go tomorrow, no matter who wins, because they'll both have only one victory. They'll have to win 2 in a row. As now we have Kuma coming in to try to clutch it up and put a massive amount of pressure on X team.
Ooh, there's the first black mines happening. He's turning things invisible. There's a lot of traps happening as well.
Oh.
But the super wizards, they seem to stay alive, at least for now. Nice invisibility spells are keeping them alive. More are getting invested. The bomb towers are gone. The multi-inferno tower should be taken care of in just a second. And he's investing yet another invisibility spell to get those storages as well. And that was a solid opening. I mean, he's getting a lot of value with that town hall and the surrounding buildings. But Carbon on the other side, we have the most annoying setup yet again with double multi-inferno tower in between a rage tower to really boost them up.
Absolutely. Those multi-inferno towers are gonna be nasty to push your way through. As that queen is gonna make her way to the bottom, we got triple Teslas right there in that little compartment, as the king is gonna have to go into the compartment too because of the queen. As we got skeletons, headhunters in to help deal with that queen. Will his queen loop around? Looks like she is. King comes around. He's not going to the bottom side. So the value, is he gonna be able to push this queen exactly where he wants? Let's see here as the king is continuing his path in.
I mean, this looks great. The king luring out now the clan castle, but the queen for now staying safe with the royal champion, reinforcing the troops from the bottom side. The poison spell is down, but the rage tower should go off any second now. You would like to get that expo and that inferno tower out of the way. The freeze is nice for now, but we have the rage tower going off, and the LaLo has just started with a nice freeze to keep those sweeper under control and make the LaLo push through that multi-inferno tower stage maybe a little bit quicker.
Yeah, the sweeper is going to be very annoying as that warden protected the headhunters in his ability, as that lava hound was also clipped to try to protect and pull any traps as long as possible. The defensive RC is not down. The defensive RC needs to be killed by these minions, but she's going to pick the minions off, not let her go down. So that is a huge on the defensive side here, as more red air bombs are taking these balloons down. The monolith just goes down, but he's got a defensive warden. Wizard tower, royal champion finally goes down. That scatter shot's up, but Itsu, time is not on his side as he's just under 25 seconds.
No, time is just not on his side. I feel like it would have been such a big game changer if the queen would have not went down her ability versus that monolith in the core. But going down, this means now time is ticking because those loons did path into the red mines. The loons are now
the king.
Stuck on the king. The king is just the best air defense. And it is going to be a 98%, which is at least forcing a high percentage from the other side. But a 3-star is not needed for the win at this point, and X team has everything under control from their perspective.
Indeed. So we have a 93.4% there. So we know a 3-star obviously would win by a star there, but it's still going to have to be a high percentage, like you mentioned, in order to have a chance. So what? 93.4. But it's gonna be a close one, and they need about they need a 94 to win. That's what they need. So a 93 ties it, and then it comes down to a an average. Oh no, it comes down. If he gets a 93, it's gonna be 100% draw, and it's gonna come down whoever attacked faster. Don't tell me. Don't write the story if that happens. A 93 is a 100% draw. 94 is a victory by one building. Those are the numbers you need to know. Good luck. Oh boy.
And I mean, right now, X Team has the time on their side. Because there might have been someone who had to swag a lot of spells. Who knows?
Right?
I mean, okay, we have now the Super Boulders versus double Poison Towers. This is interesting. We see some different meta bases in this match with not having as many Rage Towers getting used. And the Super Boulders should be pretty good to just burst through the middle of the base, right? Or is it not? Let's see. Oh, that Warden. That Rage was just in time.
That Warden was definitely need to be raged up there, invested through that Ground Expo. But let's see what else value he can get as we got double Yetis coming up by that cannon. King up there as well. There's the Siege Barrack, and he's going all the way across. Super Bowlers are down. Moving his way in. Maybe drop a Witch or two over where that King kind of is with that P.E.K.K.A. But there's the initial jump to get in, and the second jump to give him access to the Town Hall.
Yeah, the Super Bowlers, though, they have to jump inside. There's the Ice Golden. That was just the freeze, I think, popping. We have the Bowlers. They have to go inside. The Rage was quite aggressive. The healers are still not in the Rage, I think. And this is such an important thing to have them inside the Rage to keep those Super Bowlers left, like, keep them alive. The Royal Champion doing a great job. We have now the Titan and the Yeti coming out of this Siege Barracks. The Warden ability is getting used to get the Town Hall.
Oh, wow.
And the percentages are climbing higher and higher at this point.
It is. Town Hall needs to go down. That RC ability has been forced. Witches are running around the whole outside of the space. Queen is securing the Town Hall. Electro Titan on the outside helping grab those buildings. Oh, it's looking good. The Bowlers get some fantastic value. The Queen, what? The Queen actually ignores that Town Hall poison, but we got a Tesla farm. We got a defensive King. That's going to be a little bit of a problem, but the Queen ability is going to come in clutch to take him down, and it's looking like it might just 3-star here. What?
Yeah, you can see him celebrate.
Yeah. Look at that.
How did they do that? They just turned this match on its head. That is just incredible. And one of the first Super Bowler 3-stars, if not the only 3-star we have seen today, so this makes this even cooler. Super Bowlers are such a cool troop, and not seeing them used that often is kind of sad, but a great 3-star to finish off this match with the Super Bowlers to give X Team the win.
So what that means is they went 1, 2, and 3-stars to close it out. Clutch it up for them. Total access, back-to-back triples to start. And then they failed out, which means that X Team took advantage. Wow, Total Access had it, but unfortunately we're not able to close that. So Total Access has been eliminated. So they are out of contention for the golden ticket. As we're taking a look at some of the players, defenders, and the stars that each of the attackers got against the bases. But look at the percent. It was a 1% differential right there. So, and take a look at the time. X Team had the 12-second advantage. I wonder why. Itsu.
I mean, that would have been too funny, to be honest, if this would have come down to a perfect tie, because it happens so rarely, to be honest, that a lot of times it does not play a factor. But I feel like in the first attack, you should, I mean, there's no reason to take the risk, right? So overall, X Team turning it around, really impressive by them, keeping their heads in the match, which is not easy in that position. Just put yourself into the position of losing 2 matches back to back, and then going into a match where you are failing your first 2 attacks, the opponents are 3-starring their first 2 attacks. That feels rough. So being able to turn that around, that is impressive. That is really impressive, and I feel like it just showcases never give up. Great job to X Team. Really good job.
Yeah, really fantastic job. They kept their heads in it. They got it done when they needed it the most. And what this was the last match of today. We'll bring up the MVP of this match as well. We'll show you guys the brackets, and then we'll talk about what to expect, because we have matches that will be coming tomorrow, and then the playoffs, which will be next weekend. But there we go. Melly coming in with the MVP here for X Team. Early bird. Great job getting it done, and they advanced. They went 3 for 3 in the end to clutch it up and take out total access. Well done to them. And yeah, it was impressive stuff to be able to compose yourself, sit there, and get it done. So, man, Itsu, hats off to them. They stayed composed and they got it done. And as we take a look at now the bracket and where we currently stand.
Yeah, we have the matches already filled out for tomorrow, which is going to be the 2-1 matches. The 1-2 matches are not filled in just yet because we just had only a couple of the results coming in from the last matches of the day. But you can see already Navi is going to face up versus Chasmac Gaming. That's going to be a crazy match right early on. And there is Emporium Titans ET Esports, sorry, versus Clash Champs. And I have to say, ET Esports impressed me a lot. I mean, just going into the Swiss stage, seeing their stats and how they performed, I'm not sure. I have not expected that much then, but just the performance they have showcased today impressed me a lot. That was super, super strong versus really good teams that were consistently getting 13 and 12 stars, which is not easy on ton of 15. So I think I'm looking really forward to the Clash Champs versus ET Esports match. But is there anything specific standing out to you, Carbon?
No, exactly the same stuff to me. It's all these matches are going to be fantastic nonetheless. I believe that is United or UG Esports up there as well, so see what they could do. I know United Gaming was 1-1. We'll see some updates as those kind of trickle in so that we know those matches, because you lose a match when you're with 2 losses, you are eliminated and you are out of the competition. So it's been some impressive stuff. We saw some unfortunate 1-stars that come in and can cost you attack. We've seen all the way to the other side some insane recoveries, which actually happened in the same war, right? With the Tribe Navi war, both those wild stuff. And then Kazuma with an awesome attack as well, using like surgical E-Drags, Dragon Rider. So it's really awesome to see what these players are doing, even with all of this pressure on the line. So I cannot wait for tomorrow. But to say what's tomorrow? Well, tomorrow is day 2 of the Swiss stage, where we will conclude the Swiss stage to find out the teams that advance to the playoffs, which will be next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But Isu, did you have any final words here before we wrap it up for the day?
I mean, just again, huge shout out to all of the teams that did amazing. I cannot wait to see who is going to make it out of the teams tomorrow. We have so many good teams, and it's not going to be easy to get through, because I mean, with the level of play just being so high, it's always going to be rough. And I just want to see maybe some new style of defenses, which we have seen like small little pieces over the weekend, and maybe some more cool strategies, because this one of Kazuma, as you just mentioned, that was just incredible. Everyone who has not watched that just yet, you should definitely just rewatch the stream for that and make sure that you watch this Navi match, because that attack was something different. It was overall pleasure again to cast with you as always, Carbon.
Of course, it's always a pleasure to cast with you, Itsu, and your just vast knowledge of this game. And of course, you pushing up in that builder base, doing some amazing work as well. Love seeing that. But I can't wait for day number 2, which is going to be tomorrow at 12 p.m. UTC. You guys are not going to want to miss that. We got some amazing matches there, and then next weekend as well. But that's going to wrap it up for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more amazing matches between these teams. Till then, clash on.